Hi. I'm Tom, and I'm a longtime friend of JP. And my previous experience with podcasting and streaming was I was the official show mixologist for the MCU review with Elliot Serrano and John Clark and Dave Pino, covering the entirety of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, every film. I think we got through Spider-Man: Far From Home, and I think that's the last one we did. And then we did a sequel to that series called Top Men, an Indiana Jones podcast, where we went through all five films. And my job was basically to create a custom drink for every episode that we did. And we have I had an Instagram page. I have an Instagram page on that called ReVu Cocktails on the Instagram app, and that's where all of, I think, over 20 original drinks paired with the Marvel
they're
Cinematic
original.
Universe. Yes, that was. Sometimes it wasn't easy coming up with one from Thor: The Dark World all the way up through Spider-Man: Far From Home. Plus, I also did Spider-Man: No Way Home because even though we kind of stopped at that point, I had an idea that I thought it was just too good, and I had to get it up there. So, all right. Yes, I went and pulled out one from the vault. This was for the Thor Ragnarok episode.
Oh,
We did the and there's an interesting story behind this. So I'll show the drink first and tell you what it is and what's in it. So this is Korg's Mai Tai of Liberation.
Nice.
Korg,
the Rocky guy.
the rock guy.
the rock guy who wanted to start a revolution. So,
Also the director of the movie.
Yeah, voiced by Taika.
also the director
Taika
of the movie.
Back when people thought Taika could handle Thor movies.
Nice.
Actually, I was going to pop open the wine, but as you know, I was running late, and this particular wine required a corkscrew, so likely will be next week's episode. So I did end up making, yeah, but then I didn't decant it. You know, I didn't. I want to drink wine the right way, right? So I
This
did
guy.
pull out the Tito's as a great alternative to drinking delicious red wines, and I made myself drink with Soda Stream. Not sponsored yet, so you know the love is real. But Soda Stream, I'm waiting for the mail. I made myself like a watermelon. No, actually, it's not watermelon. This is cranberry raspberry. So I made myself like a vodka cranberry. So it's 0 calories on the cranberry Soda Stream part, but the vodka, not sure of the macros. Are probably 0 calories there too. But yeah, it's good stuff. It's in this cool little bedazzled glass here, and I am loving it. It's really tasty. Dude, this Tito's was in an old fashioned pot still, wherever the fudge that means. You know, look at that.
We do need to
old-fashioned-
up our cocktail game though, I think. If, as we go along. Yeah.
I have one. It's just a rum and coke. This is what I had. Bacardi Black, and that's what I had.
I'm drinking a bottle of wine tonight. It is Hampton Water from the south of France. It's a rosé.
Nice.
I went to a tasting the other day and I really liked it, so I'm like, I'm gonna buy that for the show. So
Fantastic.
I'll probably be a bottle deep, and by the end of it. I've been hearing.
Oh.
What?
Yeah.
On
I
the
can hear you
Twitch?
fine.
No, yeah, there we go. Can you guys hear me now? No, on the
Oh, yeah.
stream. On the stream, it wasn't working.
Phenomenal.
So I've been talking.
Phenomenal.
There we go. All right. Thank you, Chatter, for
Yeah.
thank
Okay.
you
Well,
saving the
that's good
day
to hear.
there. So I said a
Wow.
lot of funny things, hilarious things that you guys will never hear again about that. Sorry, guys.
Redacted.
God,
Only
terrible,
we know.
terrible start. All right. Well, I guess it's my turn then. So I am actually drinking a beer because I didn't have time to make a whiskey, or not a whiskey, just any cocktail. So from Breckenridge Brewery, Avalanche Amber Ale. Let's see if my there we go.
I like Breckenridge.
There it
Their
is.
porter's really good.
There it is. My new mic is wait. Okay, there. I have to put it next to my face. the mic.
Yeah, I was gonna say your,
yeah, the
your
mic-
depth of
the-
field.
My new camera is very specific and like trying to get my face like focused. So if I try to put some, maybe if I
Yeah.
do this.
They want you to go back to mute. By the way.
There it is. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Cool, Bourbon.
Have you had their porter? Their porter is one of my favorite porters.
Pretty sure
Damn
I have
good.
the porter somewhere there, but
Yeah.
we'll
'Cause
see
it's
how that goes.
It's a Colorado beer, right? Breckenridge Brewery.
Yeah. And speaking of that, my
Yeah.
wife is in Colorado, so that's why I'm here all by myself. So I'm with you guys now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Don't say that they're gonna get you. Home Alone. Have you seen Home Alone?
But
Do you
I have
do
seen
you
Home
have
Alone. That's
painting
gonna be
cans hanging from the sky?
dude. I can make a Rube Goldberg type like traps all over the place, man. Believe me.
Or
that
his
makes- that
dream
makes
is a
me-
home invasion.
Yes, my dream is a home invasion. Exactly.
Think of like Oh, yeah, wait,
I
hold
think
on.
we could set that up.
Really? It's like my birthday gift. It's like we're
exactly. Like,
He's gonna send people to break into your house.
yeah.
Nice.
Mm.
So I think we should have Tom kind of give his intro again. I know we start off with you muted, and just to give our guests an opportunity to kind of share his backstory again, I think we should give him a chance.
Well, actually,
Well, he wasn't muted.
Yeah, he wasn't muted. I was muted.
oh,
It was
fantastic.
only. It was only
Oh,
me.
yeah.
No one
Yeah.
People heard.
Yeah.
I gave-
Exactly. Right.
I
gave my
kind of
spiel.
wanted to kick off the Marvel discussion though with the current phase it's in, and how do people feel like where it's going? How do they?
Oh, everything sucks.
Wait,
Marvel
they got-
sucks.
well, that-
There we go.
Oh.
There you go.
Well, the
Spicy
Jonathan
take
Majors
immediately.
thing
Let's go.
kinda screwed-
The Jonathan Majors thing definitely derailed it. I think they had
Yeah.
set up Kang to be the new big bad, and then that just. I think he'll be back. I think Jonathan Majors will eventually be back as Kang. I'll be honest.
That's so wishful thinking. Oh,
No,
wow.
I think it'll happen. Because there's already actors like when it first happened, people were like, we're trying to be quiet about it. But now even like Michael B. Jordan's like pretty vocal about his support for him, and all the like there was camera footage and shit. Like it's
Actually, can you explain that? By the way, what? What happened with that dude?
well, he was
There
like
was
accused
an
of-
assault charge
yeah.
on him,
Oh, okay.
and he was convicted. I think,
he was-
right?
Yeah, but he was found innocent on that. I think he was found guilty on something else, but
Oh,
there was like camera footage that it was like he was getting chased by this girl and shit. It was
Really
yeah.
yeah.
weird. It wasn't.
Dr.
It wasn't.
Umar,
It wasn't footage like going backwards, right? That they were like
No.
backwards. None of that. One of the chats said they liked the new cap. I thought.
Oh,
I thought the
need to see it still.
reviews. I thought the reviews were bad.
well,
It was
no.
okay.
People have said it's good, and they've just been like racists have been like review bombing it.
No, I mean, well, no.
That's part of it.
Critics score is at 49% Rotten Tomatoes.
Really?
Yeah.
It's
So
it's
critics
kind of
can
weird
be
on
racist?
the Rotten Tomatoes thing, which is kind of hard to predict because the Rotten Tomato audience score is like 80%, and it made I think $180 million opening weekend, which kind of post COVID is pretty good. And Elliot Serrano told me this week when he saw it, he really enjoyed it. I mean, he's an easy mark for the movie because he's a huge Harrison Ford fan, which, but He liked it. I
Famous
do
Nazi
wonder if
sympathizer Harrison Ford. Not just saying. If you guys know that.
but I think there is an attitude where like some criticism is being a little harsh on it. That's maybe not all the way deserved. I haven't seen it. I do want to see it in the theaters. The last one that came out was last movie that came out was Deadpool and Wolverine, and that's the only movie this year. You
Yeah,
have
that
to
was
go
the only
back and, like-
2024 MCU.
I hated that movie.
Right.
Sorry.
You
You
hated it?
hated it, like,
Yeah, let's
you're
let,
like the only-
let us
hate is a
let-
strong word. for
let us-
Deadpool and
Hey,
yeah, I don't know
let
about
us
hate.
let us put a pin on that because I believe there we have a cast already. I think a few weeks ago of me like going on a rant on that one. By the way,
Yeah, it might have been last week.
yeah, no, it definitely wasn't last week.
No,
we didn't talk Marvel with
Okay.
Jim. Yeah. But wait, I do want to circle back on one thing that you did mention about Rotten Tomato scores though. Like I personally believe the critic score over audience score. Because audience score is just and now to this day and age, like it's just so easy to just be just review bombed or the opposite and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Now
Yeah.
the other thing though, and Marvel is very notorious for that, is the fact that they have a lot of Marvel shills, people that are paid or actually not even paid. Some people that just really want the clout and like want to get into whatever. And they're the ones that are making those TikTok videos about how everything's amazing for this movie. And they look just so eerily fake and all that stuff. That's why to me, it's like, yeah, it is weird, like whether a movie is bad or good, but a lot of movies that were highly rated, I thought was dog shit, like Deadpool Wolverine would be one, or like
Whoa.
I think Shang-Chi, the Ring ones, the Shang-Chi one.
That one was underrated, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
I
It was
wish
a good
they had
movie.
I
focused more
did
martial
not-
arts in the second act.
I did not like it.
Like, you didn't like it?
I did not like it at all. No, I at that point, look, here's the thing. I was all marveled out. I was all superheroed out because they're just like the same
Yeah.
formulaic thing.
Well, that's
over
another
and
thing.
Over and over.
Like,
The only one that was fresh for me was Infinity.
Logan.
Well, yeah,
Oh,
Logan.
Well,
Logan for
here's-
sure. Yeah, thank
but
you.
Logan
thank
technically wasn't MCU.
you. True,
Yeah.
true. I mean,
Here's-
and that's the other reason why I hate Deadpool versus Wolverine, because they fucking ruined the whole Logan thing. Like to
I
me,
disagree with that
no,
strongly.
it's
No,
for a
it's
fucking
ruined.
joke.
It's
It was for a joke. It's like a joke. Oh, I took his spine, and now now it's like official that Deadpool takes place in the same universe as like Logan. It's like, no, fuck you. Seriously,
Bro
like
has
Logan should
Brett
just
has
be
never grabbed a
completely
Deadpool
separate
comic book
from
in
all
his
that.
life.
Yep.
For
He's
the
never
rules.
read a
All right,
Deadpool
all
comic
right,
book
and
in
we
his
got a
life.
chatter that says, for the record, Jorge shits on basically every movie. Yes, that is true, but for good reason. Okay.
Tom, I
Sorry.
don't think we hear you. You talking?
Can you hear me? Can you? Am I?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Yeah, I hear. Yeah, I hear.
Okay, so Jake,
Okay.
okay, yeah.
Well-
I mean, the cast can hear everybody. All right, sorry. So go ahead.
Okay.
But anyway, go back to the Rotten Tomato score before all the other rants I said.
So more so than Rotten Tomato score and things like that, it is interesting that of all the movies that this particular Captain America movie has the higher audience score than critic score. I think one issue that critics get into, and this goes into something that we talked about when we talked about Captain America and the Winter Soldier, is that comic book movies aren't a genre in themselves. They're a medium for other genres of movie. So Captain America Winter Soldier is a spy thriller. Guardians of the Galaxy is a space opera. Ant-Man is a comedy movie. That really, these are different genres within a particular framework that all fuse together because they're the same universe. But really, you're talking about different types of movies. And that's why some of the most successful directors who have worked in the quote-unquote comic book movie genre are TV writers, like especially the Russo brothers, who got their start on Community, which as a show seemed to change genre every week. That was 10, 15 years ago that they were able to do that. So Shang-Chi should be a martial arts movie or something like that. And that's why at least the first half of that movie works particularly especially well is because that's the context within that you can do a good martial arts movie. Captain Marvel is just kind of a 90s period piece, which I I enjoyed the hell out of Captain Marvel.
I mean,
I'm excited for Fantastic Four. We talked about this a little bit last week, I think, but I'm really
Yeah.
excited. For
which I guess would be
Same.
like what a 50s or 60s period
They
piece,
said
I guess as well.
60s. They said 60s period, didn't they?
Oh, really?
Kennedy.
I didn't even know
Kennedy.
Kennedy,
So the
60s.
first Fantastic Four 1 was someone's gonna kill me on this one. It was, I want to say it was like 62 or 63. Fantastic Four #1 came out.
Oh wow.
So it right in that, like, I guess you would call it first 2 seasons of Mad Men era or something like that,
Yeah.
if you were to kind of pinpoint it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what it would be. It's kind of that kind of jet age, mid-century modern type look to it. So,
Gotcha.
but it looks great. I don't know
Okay.
why everyone's complaining about the look of the Thing. I think the Thing looks really good.
I mean, compared
Very-
to, I mean, but here's the thing: you're comparing to like every other Fantastic Four stuff, which was just, dog shit.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
so like
well, people are nostalgic about the like 2005 one now for some reason.
the really
which-
bad one.
Yeah, I thought that one was
No.
like campy, kinda.
The
No.
first,
I think the
good.
very first one was campy. The 2005 one tried to take itself a little too seriously
The one with
No, you're thinking of
with Michael B. Jordan.
no, that's
not
2015.
no,
Oh, that's
2015.
2015.
2005 was the first one, yeah.
Okay, then
No.
then I'm right about that. Then yeah.
Yeah.
sure. Okay, great. I
There
still
was
don't
one
like-
really bad one made in 1994.
Didn't that one
but-
not even really
but-
like go to theaters?
Okay, but hold on. Let me
Yeah.
go back to what you were saying. Like, okay, yeah, a lot of these Marvel movies or just superhero movies in general are different genres, made, based with the superhero and everything like that. But like, to me, it's like, it's not. It's okay, sure. It like Shang-Chi. Let's talk about Shang-Chi for a second. It's supposed to be a martial arts movie. So if we're gonna base it off being a martial arts movie, it's not particularly a good martial arts movie to me. Like I'm
martial
one-
arts in
I'm
the
one-
first
I'm-
act.
Well,
were
but here's the
really
thing. I'm
good.
one that like loves
But then-
stuff like The Raid,
The
or
choreo
Protector,
between like
Yeah.
or those
There are
type
multiple-
of things. Those are the movies that
there's a
I
lot
love.
of different. There's
But-
different varieties of martial arts movies. So, like the last third of Shang-Chi is like old Hong Kong
Like Tai Chi.
crazy. Yeah, like really like not Crouching Tiger, but there was like a
Mystical.
version mystical. Yes,
Right,
exactly.
right, right.
Like
I mean, which
Yeah.
believe me, I've seen a lot of those type of movies and stuff like that. Like, and even then, like, I don't know, it's just. I'm not the type of audience for that, to be honest. Like the more mystical,
You are. Most of
the more mystical,
Well, for any
the more
Marvel
mystical
movie.
Chinese. Well, yeah, that Marvel. But if we're talking about like martial arts, yeah, the more mystical, Chinese centric. Everyone's like on like what do you call it, like wires, like running, that sort of thing. I mean, I prefer one with a great story. Crouching Tiger. The guy that made Crouching Tiger, he also made another one that I actually really really liked. It was more bloodier
Hero.
too. Hero was one. Yeah. Hero is great. There was another one. It was a more recent one.
House of Flying Daggers.
No,
what was that? It? No.
I don't think
Wait,
so.
which one are you talking about? You said what type of fighting style was being used?
Like that Crouching Tiger style, that particular the wire.
The wire act
fights.
type stuff. Like everyone's like flying and they kind of just like, like that.
Mm,
Very unrealistic.
I don't know. Last movie I enjoyed like that was Kung Fu Hustle. That was like the most modern version, I think. You didn't like Kung Fu Hustle, Tom?
I didn't say I didn't like KungFu Hustle. I don't think I've
You-
actually seen Kung Fu Hustle, but
Oh, you kind of gagged over there. You were like,
Never
oh.
seen it either.
No, I didn't mean to gag or anything like that. I have no beef with Kung Fu Hustle whatsoever. It's all good.
Like,
No,
wow, didn't even tell you.
it's called Shadow in 2018.
Oh.
You guys remember like
I
those
didn't-
scenes that they were using like the umbrella weapons?
No, never seen.
You
this
guys never
before.
seen this
That's
movie?
crazy.
Oh shit! Maybe
Yeah.
I'm the movie
High
person
rated.
now. Here we go.
Oh,
Yeah, there we
you're the
go.
movie
Here we go.
guy.
Challenge there. Shadow. Look up Shadow. I think that was an excellent movie. Very dark, but still his style, right? Of like, just, high flying type stuff like that. Very close to a hero. But
Wait.
going back to Shang-Chi, like again, and a lot of these other Marvel movies, again, it's like I don't particularly think that if we're gonna rate them to the genre that they are, not just superhero movies, there's better things out there, and that's what makes me not like them. Like Shang-Chi was literally like, to me, I couldn't go into it as a kung fu movie or a martial arts movie. I could only go into it as like this is a superhero movie. So they failed me in both ways because it's just the same regurgitated thing over and over and over and over again. And like the actors were just like, I don't know, they just like, you could tell it's like, we got the pay, we're going there. Like I honestly, I love Aquafina, you know, as a person, as her stand up and everything like that. But they straight up typecasted her now at this point, you know?
She gets typecast for everything. Aquafina plays herself in every movie she's in.
Exactly. And I think, but I remember there is one movie that's really good, but it was more like of a somber movie. Isn't that, was Aquafina there? It's one about like her mother or her grandmother is gonna die or something like that.
That's a long
that movie. Yeah, it was pretty good. She went back in time.
No,
And she kept living different lives. Oh,
no, not that. No, it was more grounded. It was a much grounded movie.
To kind of go back to like, let's talk like pre-Endgame. You know,
the build-up though was amazing. You know, we were so.
I mean the build-up.
Oh, yeah.
Well, part of it is that they
Fantastic.
went on
Love her.
a 4 or 5 film run from like Guardians Volume 2 all the way through. I think the last one to come out before Endgame was Captain Marvel came out after Black Panther.
But Captain Marvel came out after Infinity War, didn't it? Oh, we're going up to Endgame.
Yeah.
Right, going up to Endgame. So from like.
By the way, I did not like Endgame. Side note.
All right, whatever.
That kind of skews you from there because I thought Endgame was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Endgame was very good.
Infinity War was superior, but Endgame is.
I agree.
Yeah,
highly agree. Highly agree.
I think Infinity War is probably the better one, but you know, I think they put out 4 or 5 really amazing movies in a row, and that's really hard to do for a studio. We're talking about a time frame of, let's see, Captain America: Civil War came out in 2016, and they went all the way through. Let's see, Spider-Man: Far From Home came out in the summer of 2019. That's at least 3 years of releasing probably about 2 or 3 movies a year, and all of them were really good. So the quality that they were putting out and the variety that was going out in that time period, because you can enjoy both movies for themselves. Thor Ragnarok and Black Panther are 2 very different movies, and they came out back to back. I think Thor Ragnarok came out in November of 2017 and Black Panther came out in February of 2018. They're very, very different movies, but they're both excellent movies within their own right. So to go on that kind of run with, they had a little bit of something for everyone in that time frame, that's how you get the build up to something like Avengers Endgame coming out in May of 2019.
All right.
Yeah, because they didn't just go after one audience. It was several different audiences they had to pull in.
Chatter. Yes, Fast and Furious is hilarious to me, but I like John Wick. It's past 3. Just saying, Tim. Okay, sorry. I had to respond to that chatter.
John Wicks are kind of.
If you guys are reading
John Wick
chat,
was amazing, but the most recent one. Which one was that one?
One series that I like. I mean,
4 was the most.
John Wick.
4.
There we go. That's a series I like. Chat. I like movies. Okay, but going back to what Tom here said. Well, no, yes, but going back to what Tom said, I don't disagree that what they did in terms of the build up to get into Infinity Wars was Herculean. It was great. What they did, the first Iron Man, so on and so forth. But my issue is that I think the formula just is dried out, you know? Like I think like it's now a certain period that like you go back to some of these movies and some of them to me, like, I don't know, don't age well, or it's because I'm just tired of the same formula over and over and over again. Like the Jon Favreau type, you know, everything is like equipped type thing. Like to me, Iron Man, Like I can't rewatch Iron Man then just knowing like holy shit, this dude is just obnoxious now at this point. You
So
know?
that kind of brings me to this
Also doesn't
idea
it-
that like
Sorry,
you got-
Yeah, but
real
that's
quick.
comic books. They're
You-
like
you
that
got-
in the comic
I don't
books.
know, whatever.
you
Yeah.
got a few different formulas you could do where Marvel's trying to continue the same story in this timeline, whereas DC makes Superman and Batman all over again, telling the same origin story
We gotta
5 times within 10 years.
we gotta
It's
split
like
JP, since you just mentioned that, we do have a spicy take in the chat. They say it's dried up like an old vagina. Honestly, DC's better in general. Marvel's a popular movie. Ooh.
That's that's an L
DC
take.
is better
L
at
take.
TV shows.
Yeah, I'm
Marvel
gonna
is
say
better
that's
at
an L.
movies.
That's an
Yeah.
L take.
Oh,
TV
Chai
TV
Stab
show?
Crew, you just gave an L take. Everyone disagrees.
TV shows.
Actually,
I
they're all
disagree
angry
with
at you.
I agree. That's an L take.
The Flash show was a strong DC show. I think
Yeah.
I
Flash
didn't.
was good.
The Green Arrow show was good.
Yeah.
Smallville, obviously, if you want to go way back, that was.
Oh, that's way back. I'm talking about
That's
recent, yeah, like the last 5 years
Recent?
or so.
Did anyone
Oh.
see any of Superman and Lois?
Oh.
Superman.
Oh, well, like,
Ooh.
Little Superman,
Some
that's
of
that's
it.
fantastic.
Wait,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah,
talking about like
that was
you're talking
really
about like
good.
the very old one, right? The Adventures of Lois and Clark.
No,
Oh,
this is
no,
a new
no,
one.
Recent.
no.
I used to watch.
Recent.
No, okay, no, I used to watch that one, like the very, very, I guess.
No,
old
Superman
90s?
and Lois is supposed to be like one of the better adaptations of Superman.
Yeah.
Also,
Hold on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's-
Hold on,
I-
DC animated movies for sure. That slaps.
Ooh.
DC definitely
Yeah.
did a much better job with
DC
animation, for sure.
Animated movies are definitely made more for adults. Like they're watchable for adults, where
Yeah.
Marvel movies tend not to be watchable for adults when it comes.
Did anyone
to
see Batman Under the Red Hood when it came?
Yes,
That was like
Of
10 years
course.
ago?
That was-
yes.
I watched
That
that
was like
over and
90,
over and over.
90, 94, 98. What was it? Where was it?
No, Under the Red Hood was like
No.
2012.
2012, you
with
think?
they-
Oh,
it's
yeah.
2012,
Sorry, I'm thinking of
2014,
something
they
else.
had-
Sorry.
2010.
They had
2010.
Yeah, they had John DiMaggio play the Joker, and it's one of my
Fantastic movie.
excellent, outstanding.
Great
the
comic
whole-
art. Great
The
story.
last like 5 minutes of that movie are just like
Prime. That's
Prime,
prime DC
spot
right
on.
there.
No, like
But
so I guess
right up-
we all agree DC animation just hits it out of the park, and
Well,
it straight up
Well, I don't
started.
think Marvel has
Let's not s-
done an over like.
no.
Mm,
Well, I guess they have.
They have. But
Apparently-
hold on. Marvel.
Apparently, that new Spider-Man show is doing pretty
yeah.
good.
Spider-Man is the new Spider-Man is all right.
I haven't seen.
My
it.
favorite Marvel animated movie though was the Hulk versus series. Hulk versus Wolverine was sick. A lot of Deadpool action on there, which was fun. And Hulk versus Thor was really good too.
damn, here we go. Chai
Hulk was
Stab
a
Crew.
minute.
Nothing ever compares to the Nolan trilogy. I mean, I would tell you yes
Oh,
for
that's
the
not. Yes.
for the first two
He's right.
movies. The third movie though really shit the bed. I'm sorry.
I don't think it was.
I wouldn't
shit.
say it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't shit. It,
has-
just wasn't as good as
Yeah.
Dark Knight. The Dark
Right,
Knight
they
was.
had-
Top
amazing
10
acting
movies.
performances, just like
I was born. I can't do the Bane
Dark-
voice.
Dark Knight Rises has good components,
Darkness is all.
but it.
Yeah.
I mean, you can feel however you want about the Bane thing, but that whole sequence. If JP, if you want, we talk about like going back to Occupy Wall Street, the hand on the shoulder. Do you feel in charge? Is one of the more chilling moments that they've put in a comic book movie.
That was
And-
good.
Yeah. So like there are
What?
parts of it, and Anne Hathaway is great as Selena Kyle. That's a great performance.
They washed
there's-
away
there's
the
great
Latino
stuff.
from Bane, though. They washed away the Latino away from him, and I was kind of annoyed by that.
From
There was no
Selena?
luchador vibe from Bane, like the Bane's whole
Oh
character.
yeah, that was a
Always known
shame.
Bane as a luchador, and I was like, wait a minute, Tom Hardy. I'm like, okay, maybe he could play it off. I'm over here thinking, like, can Tom Hardy do like a Latin accent? No, it was not a Latin accent.
Is Tom
It was-
Hardy part Latin?
People, by the way, people are really worried about like the new Batman trilogy and like the idea of introducing like fantasy characters, like characters that can't really exist in a realistic, grounded Matt Reeves universe. Like people are worried about that. I personally don't care. I think I'm okay with continuing to see like grounded villains like the Penguin and stuff. I mean, the Penguin show did
Penguin
really
was
well.
good.
Like,
It,
Yeah.
That show was good.
was the best I've
was
seen for a
That
gangster
was a good
movie since
DC.
Sopranos. I was
Yeah,
just
the
like, damn.
Batman movie was. I
that
really
that
enjoyed
is a
like
that
the
is an
detective
extreme
Batman.
take. I'm sorry. What really?
Wait,
Yeah.
Penguin as good as
Batman
Sopranos?
movie. The Batman
The Penguin
movie was,
series
Is that
Penguin
what you're
series
saying, right?
was.
Yeah.
I was saying that the
Mm.
Penguin series is the best series on the gangster lifestyle since Sopranos.
Mafia.
Bold call,
Yeah.
I would say. And I think
It's not a bold
Chad,
call. What?
Chad is saying
It
that
was
too.
fantastic.
Actually, I haven't seen it, but
didn't wanna-
that's a statement.
I
You
didn't
can
want to
watch
make a
it. Don't
comment
make
about
don't
this.
make comments.
I want to make a comment about this drink. It started out a little bit harsh when I was first drinking it, and now it's something you might not know about some cocktails is they get better the longer they have a chance to melt with the ice. And
Oh.
I think
that makes sense,
the rums that I've used in this one are a little bit different from the last time I did it. So the first time I did this, because I
laughing
was
at the
basing it
comment.
off of,
I thought that was.
I was
a potting
basing it-
plant.
Oh my gosh.
I was basing it off of. I was trying to think of like, well, to be honest, when we were going back to doing that show, this is a little kind of insider information on that show. That we did was our guest that evening was supposed to be Lawrence Holmes from 670,
I watched. Yeah.
and he unfortunately he had, because of the timing of it, it happened to be the same night as 2022 Bears Patriots, which was the Monday night game against New England where Justin Fields went
Justin
off.
Fields.
Yeah.
I miss that
Yes.
guy.
I
on Bill
miss him
Belichick.
so much. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
So, unfortunately, but Lawrence is a big rum fan, so I wanted to do a nice rum drink. So originally I used Smith and Cross Jamaican rum and Clarin Communal Haitian rum because I wanted two rums from countries with successful slave uprisings
Oh,
in Haiti and Jamaica.
Damn.
Yeah. So this one I substituted. I didn't use Smith and Cross. I did use a Jamaican rum. I used Worthy Park 109, which is a different overproof Jamaican rum, but it's a darker rum. And then I couldn't get my hands on Clarin from Haiti,
That's
but I
plugged.
did have some cachaça, which is also a sugar cane. How much do you guys know about rum? You guys want to listen on rum?
Yeah,
We-
go.
we
Continue.
love rum.
Continue.
I
We
love rum. I
we
go to rum
drink.
bars.
We drink the rum.
Barrow, Chicago.
All right,
rum
so-
bar.
So rum can be classified by what it's made out of and where it comes from. So most rum that you see is made from molasses, which is like that byproduct of the sugar making process. It's like when you boil sugarcane juice to make sugar, the stuff that's kind of left from the end of it, that's molasses. You know, you get it in a bottle, it's all black. That's the stuff that if you ferment it, you can most of the time you turn into rum. Now there are other ways of doing it, such as fermenting just the pure sugarcane juice, which is what Haitian Clarin is made out of. A lot of the French speaking islands in the Caribbean make rums out of sugarcane juice, like Martinique, very famous for using sugarcane juice. They call it rum agricole. But also Brazil does the same thing. That's where cachaça comes from. It's distilled fermented sugarcane juice. Most other rum is made with the molasses. And in Jamaica, they add all the gunk that settles at the bottom of the boiling pot too. So not only do they use the molasses, but all of the crap that's collected at the bottom, which gives Jamaican rum its particularly weird, funky banana flavor.
Mm.
And then the other end of that process is what country colonized you during the 17th and 18th century. So you have Spanish rums, French rums, and English style rums. So your French style rums are like Martinique, Haiti, Guadalupe, places like that. Spanish style rums, you get Puerto Rico, Cuba, Venezuela. Mexico makes some
Yeah.
rums as well.
And I think you mentioned this, that French or Spanish are sweeter, like rums, right? Or I forget which ones.
A lot of French manufacturers will use the sugarcane juice, and what you get from that is this kind of fresh cut grass flavor.
Oh,
So it can be really potent, really, really grassy, really fresh. The English style rums or the Jamaican style rums you get because they add that extra crap that's at the bottom of the boiling pot is they have this like extremely overripe banana flavor that's added to like you crack open a bottle of Smith and Cross or you crack open a bottle of Ray and Nephew and you get this banana bread smell that kind of comes off of the end of that. So when you make a rum drink, you can add different rums to get different flavors. So I have a Brazilian style rum and I have a Jamaican style rum in this that have a very kind of different flavor profile when you add them all together. And on top of that, I have bitter grapefruit liqueur and orgeat, which is a almond syrup. That's the key ingredient in the Mai Tai to kind of add to that. But then I wanted to add blood orange juice for the blood spilt by the people in their revolution, according to Korg.
So real quick, I walked away because I needed a refill. So I got a new beer, by the way. But
I
you
need to go get a refill,
mentioned what's it? Kachaka.
Shasa.
Yeah,
Kasasha.
cachacha. I actually got 2 bottles of that type of stuff here.
That's aged.
Nice.
That's
Very,
really aged. That's
very aged. The thing that was supposed like the actual fruit that was supposed to be in it is completely just like deteriorated. My dad gave me these because he actually like he's a civil engineer and he had to go to Brazil like constantly a lot of times too. I think he got these 2 bottles. I'm going to say maybe 15 years ago or something like that. And he just had it in the basement for a long time. And then when he was like cleaning out his basement, essentially, he was like, "Here, Jorge, do you want any of this stuff?" Right? And actually, Bourbon Ray Night, our chatter in Bourbon Ray Night, he had the opportunity to taste that stuff. So if he's still on, he can tell you what it tasted like because we dared each other to drink this stuff. But this thing's very aged. But I got these things. But you did mention that stuff. I don't know. It tasted like cough syrup a little bit, but it could just be the age. I don't think they're not supposed to be aged, are they?
They can be. I mean, you can age anything. I mean, very famously, the original rum used in the Mai Tai, which is kind of like my de facto favorite drink, was a 17-year aged Ray and Nephew from Jamaica that they basically drank through the entire supply in like 4 or 5 years. And then the company stopped making it. So that was the end of that.
Oh, I see.
So to this day, people keep trying to recreate that particular flavor profile. So there's a couple of guys that I like to follow who do their best, who blend different rums and come up with their own solution. And I have a 3 rum blend that serves as my Tai rum. But that's what I use.
You seem to favor rums a lot. I've noticed that in your drinks.
I do like rums. I think because of the variety of flavors. I like bourbon. I like rye whiskey a ton. So I do like that. But when I drink bourbon, I want to drink an old fashioned. Yeah, love a rye whiskey. I've been big into Sazeracs lately. That's kind of been something I really enjoy because it's just served up with a little lemon. It's really nice. But mostly when I drink whiskey, I drink an old fashioned. So, but with different flavors of rums, you can do different things. Like different sweeteners work better with different rums. Like I saw you hold up a bottle of the Angostura 7. And let's see, that's from Trinidad.
Yes.
So
look at you.
First thing I thought of was that's going to go great in what's called a Queen's Park Swizzle, which is like a mojito, but you put a bunch of Angostura bitters at the top of it, and it creates this like 3-color layer where it's like red at the top, and then it's yellow in the middle, and then it's green on the bottom with the mint, and it's like. That's a really good. I don't make that one enough because I don't have enough. But but also like an aged Spanish style rum is really good in.
A rum cocktail bar would be such a good concept.
Yeah, they got that. That's called Three Dots and a Dash.
Yeah.
Oh, I've never been there, and that's a lettuce place, isn't it? And
Yeah,
I've never
it's
been there either.
great.
I've walked by there so many times,
It
and
is
I've always
usually
wondered
online.
what's happening in there.
It's
a
pretty.
rum
It's,
place.
I've been there many times. It's pretty good, and you got to go with a group of friends. Firstly,
You
real
enter
quick,
through the alley?
we do have a chatter question here. One of them said, where would you rank Hemingway's rum?
Hemingway's. I don't think I've
Is
had
that a joke?
Hemingway's. No,
Yeah.
but I've had.
Probably just
made
drink
the
what
word-
was in front of
Sounds
him.
funny.
Yeah,
I've made the Hemingway daiquiri is a daiquiri with grapefruit juice and maraschino liqueur, and that's like one of my go-to. That's like I make that for my wife all the time. That's a fantastic drink. That's like served up with grapefruit, and maybe you can get a cherry in there. That's terrific.
I've
Nice.
only had clear cut. He's just telling me read down, asshole. What the fuck? What did I miss? I thought he was the. I thought you wanted to. Oh wait, I'm drinking Kirkland whiskey and Coke right now. Cool, awesome, dude. All right.
Coke?
Yeah,
Coca-Cola?
there it is. Kirkland, Costco.
Let's see. Oh wait, actually, I have
Costco
a rum.
shout-outs.
I have.
Okay.
It's not. Everyone's getting their rums yet.
I had
Everyone
a-
grab their
last
rums.
Chazical Barnes, thank you, first time
curious
chatter.
if you've
The
more-
comment is you can age
Oh,
anything
snap.
with.
109.
This
What do
is
we got
from
here?
The Philippines.
From the Philippines.
Ooh. What is that?
Nice.
This is really
That's
good.
interesting.
Gabe, you've tried this with me. This has really strong vanilla flavors.
Ooh,
Somebody gave this
nice.
to my dad, and at the time he wasn't drinking, so he just let me keep it. But this
You could totally,
W dad.
total-
That's a W dad.
you could
move.
totally put that into an old. You could totally old fashioned that. Something with like deep vanilla, like high aged. Yeah,
Look, I'm
could put
taking a
some-
chunk out
Damn.
of this, but it is really good.
yeah.
Nice.
What else do I have
Wait,
here?
you just took it out the sleeve? That's it?
Yeah, that's the bottom.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. You addressed
Nice.
it.
We also
Get
we
back
did
in.
have a request in the chat, and I had to go back to this about we have to talk football because
Oh yeah.
is
So-
an expert on football with me.
Deadpool
So-
Yeah.
isn't on the football teams, okay?
No, I can rant about Deadpool Wolverine if you want. We can ask Chad. Do you want to talk about football or to hear me rant about how much I hate Deadpool
Sky Blue
Wolverine?
Indy said no.
I want to circle
No.
back to that.
Commenting
I'm gonna
because you
circle
don't
back
like
to that.
football.
You know what? We got
Performance.
time. We can circle back to
Yes.
both of them. Let's go back to
That-
football real quick. Okay, we can stick with
Oh,
MCU.
so-
Damn it.
Yeah, because
So
I'm only on my second beer. Give me my third beer and I'll really rant. So let's go.
So we were scheduled to start streaming that night. It was Monday night. We're supposed to schedule at 7:00. So it was 3 of us. One of us was out, and then it was me, Dave, John Clark, and then Connor McKnight jumped on as our special guest. And we had agreed that we weren't going to talk football about it, but I've got the TV on in the corner, and I'm like watching along. And I'm
You're a
trying
Bears
not to.
fan. You gotta
I'm not
watch it.
I'm trying not to freak out about it because it was like one of those absolute breakthrough.
Yeah.
It seemed like, and then I think they
You
didn't
thought
they,
we
like,
had
not,
QB1.
and then they didn't win another game for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Uh,
I
sucks.
remember that
We
game
are
vividly
all-
because I watched it
Yeah.
on my projector against the garage in my backyard, and I was thinking, everybody was throwing the QB1 party, the score, versus
yeah.
through the QB1 party after that game. It was just like, oh,
It was so exciting for the time, and it just
Are we surrounded by
was.
Justin Field stands? Yes, kind of.
no.
I don't know. I gave
So,
up.
I'm
I
not a
gave up.
stan.
I gave up.
like,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, I
at
think
some
we,
point
I
you
think we
have
all
to
gave
give
up.
up, yeah.
We all gave up. Whatever. Williams
Yeah.
is fine. It's just, I mean, look, the Bears always win the postseason, or sorry, the off season like hype.
we
essentially,
have
right?
won 3 in a row.
and we're
Yeah.
gonna win it again.
Bro.
See, we're already on track. We got Ben Johnson. He's bringing in all the people, and Virginia died. So there you go. Hype.
She's a sweet lady. She was a sweet lady.
Oh yeah, Virginia
She's
had
a
nothing
sweet
to
lady.
do with what was going on.
Dude, come
She
on.
wasn't the problem.
We know we.
She wasn't the problem.
I mean, she was though. She just brings in her idiot son to like continue, like Eberflus, and like how ass backwards. Like
Yeah, but that's not
the
her
whole thing
doing that.
happened. Come on, dude.
But
It's her.
you just
like,
made it. You just
she's
made
not.
a
She's not a
conspiracy
saint.
connection.
She's not a saint.
Something.
She's not a saint, dude. Come on.
I never said she was a saint.
Yeah, Virginia was the problem.
very-
Only if you think them not selling was the problem. Yeah.
She's a sweet lady. I met her once. She was very nice.
The problem
But-
was, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Was
So you met her
that
once. She's very
they-
nice.
They were bad at hiring their advisors when they were trying to find new GMs and new coaches. They were just really bad at, because they would ask other NFL teams.
Yeah.
So they had no way to network outside of other NFL teams. They didn't have any system to like, all right, who is the new GM that we should hire? They had no way of knowing. And so the problem wasn't like Virginia. It was George, and he had no network.
But
to
again,
go off.
no. But here's the thing: Virginia was the one that put George in. She wanted nepotism, straight up.
No,
right?
that was the board. That was the board.
Oh, come on! Is it the
Board for
board? No,
Jordan.
come on.
Well-
it was nepotism, dude. Like, you think Virginia didn't have was putting her finger on the scale on that? Come on.
Well, Michael
I mean,
got
she-
sick. Yeah, Michael got
Yeah.
sick.
Well, anyway,
Megaret's
Eberflus is now in Cowboys, so have fun with that in Cowboys as a DC. I mean, defensive coordinator.
He'll
sure,
be
is
fine as a DC.
He will
He'll
be.
be fine as a DC. Yeah.
But the Cowboys are disappointing, which I love that they're disappointing. Fuck them.
Oh yeah.
Everyone likes to hate on the Cowboys.
Yeah, I mean,
See,
why not?
America's favorite unfavorite team.
Yeah, America's
I mean,
favorite
you guys
another
think
team.
about-
Exactly.
The new NFL salary cap increase.
Oh my god, it's
Any
gonna be
thoughts on
massive. So like
It already
Yeah.
was released, I think. 281.5 million.
for this year, yeah, but it like what they're gonna raise it to in the next 5 years is gonna be astronomical. Because I was it you that posted that? Or was that Danny that posted it? Tom.
no, that was somebody. I think it was Danny that posted that one.
It was Danny. Okay, so yeah, we're in this Facebook group called House Hall Water Cooler, and I run the group, and I am very rigid about who I let in because I don't want people just shit talking.
JP. That's what he's known for.
Oh yeah,
guys.
I want people
Very
that
positive group.
bring people that people that bring in like interesting discussions and not just
Not just
I want to
Jorge's.
just trash.
No, I just no. I'm
Not
just
the
looking. I'm
Jorge's
just
of the
looking at
group.
the camera right now, and I'm just like seeing our guest. Like, he's literally like squeezing the lemon, like everything. He's making his cocktail right on that. Like, and I'm the asshole that just like got a beer can. And I'm like, I ain't. Here you go.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Tank beer. That's what I'm drinking now. Hopewell Tank beer.
Well, that's a good one. I was at Hopewell a couple of weeks ago. It was
yeah?
that was the
Where were they
winner
at?
as far as we were concerned. They're kind of Logan Square-ish. They're on Diversey Avenue, like over by Milwaukee.
Yep, that's
By the way,
Logan
in
Square.
I think in
Sure.
Logan, it must be in Logan Square. Okay, my favorite beer company, Moors, Moors. They finally actually have a location right in Logan Square. Definitely check those guys out. I told
Nice.
you guys before. I met like the people that were like
hipsters
promoting
make
that
the
stuff
best beer.
in Southside, like the 16th Street bar that I was go to. Shout out to 16th Street bar, by the way. Where's the oh shit, that's right, I forgot. Hey, since Yadu over here is Yadu, sorry, our resident Gen Z correspondent. How's Gen Z looking?
Forgot about
Still bad.
Okay, cool, awesome.
It's so
Anyway,
bad.
awesome. Thank you.
I spent Valentine's Day drunk smoking cigarettes, so
Aw.
that's where we're
Oh,
at.
jeez.
What the fuck?
It's still better
How'd you
than me,
land
no
into
matter what.
tobacco and nicotine? How'd that happen?
What happened to the Asian girl you met in the hallway or something of your building? You were talking about
She might be in the chat right now, actually.
In my building.
Oh
Oh, that's a different.
no, he's Yadu's becoming a Rolling Stone. I'm just kidding. No, he's not. He's a.
I did go to a bar recently and did throw our tropical drink. So if the bartender that I talked to is in the chat, shout out to you. You were great.
Wait, Sky Blue
there you
Indy
go.
said they DoorDash Mickey D's.
Oh, you
Sorry to
don't know?
hear
Who,
that.
I'm not gonna dox who Sky Blue is, but I know you met her. Oh, sorry, her, him, her, or him.
Him.
Both.
Well, it's probably obviously
It's
her.
both. It's both. Nebulous.
I'm sorry that happened to you.
And Chai Stab Crew, what's up? They nabbed him and Madden. Wait, what the fuck? Oh,
He was
wait, no, he's got a conspiracy thing here. Hold on. I think they kept Eberflus and Esther a year because they were thinking about BJ the entire time. So they were
Because they could have had
Really?
BJ the previous year. Yeah. Poles wanted Eberflus to succeed.
Poles wanted because Poles really thought Eberflus was their long-term culture guy. He
Oh
really
yeah,
thought-
no, for sure. He thought he was his guy. He fucking tossed Fields off. Fields was not the problem, guys. Fields was not the problem. Chai
It was
Stab Crew.
a problem.
Well,
He was
he was not a passer. He was a guy that if he didn't read the defense right, he was going to run.
Michael Vick
And you
style.
can't have that.
Michael
Yeah.
Vick.
Well,
Yeah.
Michael Vick was better than Fields.
Lamar Jackson is what
Well,
people were wanting to
come
put
on, of
him
course.
as. Lamar Jackson, because
Yeah.
he was a runner.
Even if he was, you know what? Even if he was Jalen Hurts, because
we cannot listen to Jorge about football. Fuck you, Chai Stab Crew.
his comps, he comps with Jalen Hurts pretty well. Like if he was plugged into the Eagle system, he might perform like Jalen Hurts.
He needed
It's a
a
might,
higher.
you know.
Yeah, but he needed to be more. Jalen Hurts is like 20% better a passer than Justin Fields in terms of completion
Accuracy
percentage and
for,
being
like,
able to
yeah.
accuracy, and that's the difference between a guy who's an NFL starter and a guy who is on the boundary of being an NFL starter. So that's the difference between a Super Bowl winning quarterback and a guy who's going to have trouble making the Steelers next year.
Yeah. I think he's going to be on the Jets.
Yeah, they were talking about the Jets. He's going to replace like Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers will go back to the Vikings. It's been prophesied.
Don't go to the Jets. Don't go to the Jets, Justin. That's
he should.
It makes sense in my mind because they hired a DC, and he fits well with a team that's going to be heavily defensive oriented, where he could actually just control the ball and get his first downs with the legs and not have to worry about the passing stats and just keep the game close. And that's how he's going to get his wins.
By the way,
That's what he did with Pittsburgh.
I like the Wu-Tang shirt you're wearing, by the way. I just noticed that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Wu-Tang's for the kids. Hey, speaking of the kids, though, resident Gen Z expert.
It's for the children.
It's for the children. It's for the children. Resident Gen Z expert over there. Do you guys like football anymore, Gen Z?
I'm not. I've never been big on football though.
Okay. All right. I feel like it might.
Some people care.
Correspondent is done.
Our correspondent is done. We got to talk about Gen Z stuff, which like MCU Gen Z stuff. Is MCU still? Oh wait, actually, that's what I was. Let's go back to that. Let's go back to like the DC animated stuff. To me, the biggest, bestest thing was Batman the Animated Series. We're talking like the 90s, right, or early 2000s, maybe 90s or early 2000s, right?
No.
I actually don't know whether or not Yadu. Have you ever seen that stuff?
The Mark Hamill Joker is.
Yes,
no,
Mark
I'm
Hamill
familiar
Joker.
with the
That was Mark Hamill Joker.
I'm familiar with it, but I never like watched. I was never a big DC person.
But you never seen Batman the Animated because that was prime, like the best.
No,
Like,
it wasn't.
Oh, yeah.
It was. No, it was.
I've seen your
hands
Batman
down.
show.
Hands down.
I've
it was
seen
the
your
best.
Batman, but I've also saw Batman Brave and the Bold, and that show was fun. Aquaman was awesome. Blue Beetle was awesome.
No,
He was
every
sidekicking
one of
with
those that
everyone
you're
every
talking
episode.
about was all like action oriented. Let's be honest. Like animated,
Well-
Batman animated was just well written.
It was like
it-
comic book, old school.
No, it was
fun.
it was like basically based off like we're doing like the stories themselves. Like we're
detective
like
stories.
it was
Well,
detective stories.
I mean,
Exactly.
Sort of, but a lot of what they did in the original animated series, was kind of made up on the fly. Like the whole origin story of Mr. Freeze, that all goes back to Heart of Ice in the original. I think it was the first or second season. I think it was the first season of Batman the Animated Series.
Right.
You guys ever see that like that one?
Yeah. I did. Yeah.
Some of the other stuff.
I think
that
the Spider-Man,
came-
the old Spider-Man show was better. I
But
think.
I want to kind of segue that to be the fact is that like a lot of like 90s and I was looking up just to make sure this was 90s. I think was the Batman animated, right?
Oh yeah, it had to be.
I think it was 90s, right? But a lot of shows in the 90s, I think, had more. I guess I would say like writers that were really trying to like, up and coming writers that were really trying to be like, writing like these very interesting stories. And I harken back to a lot of like shows that actually would always have these episodes that just were just well written. Quantum Leap was one. Highlander was another one. There's one episode in Highlander that I to this day
Don't
always
know
keeps
either
in
of
my
those
mind
things.
was that
Don't know what it
imagine
is.
like some dude who's a Highlander who's immortal, but he was
Yeah.
mentally challenged. And
But
so for his
I'm excited.
entire
They're remaking Highlander, by the way.
Wait, educate me.
I don't
What's
believe that.
Highlander?
What?
You don't know Highlander?
Oh,
Tom, explain Highlander. Our guest will explain Highlander.
There could be only one. It's
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so basically, there's this. Oh God, how do I even explain it? Basically, there's this bit of there are certain people who are just immortal,
Really?
and there's this one guy who was born on the Scottish Highlands, and he's called the High. He gets referred
Is
to
live
as the
action or animated?
Live action.
live
live
action.
action.
Live action. It was originally
Okay.
it
So
was
it's
originally a
Braveheart
very
looking guy.
campy. Yeah, it was originally a very campy movie, and was
Mhm.
it? Didn't that come out in the '80s?
Yes.
Yes.
The original Highlander.
Sean
So
Connery
good.
playing a Spaniard with a very Scottish accent.
Yeah.
Didn't even try to hide it. But basically the whole
How would he play?
premise
this
is badly. That's how it
Yeah,
went.
it
That's
was.
how
It
went.
wasn't good. But the
wasn't good.
series
Why?
the series was good though. Let's continue.
So, but the part of the gag is that when two immortals are near each other, they have to fight each other. Like they're compelled biologically.
Oh,
to fight each other.
Hancock.
To the death.
Right. Until the point where the whole point is to try to get down to where there's only one left. Hence, there's like the line, the catchphrase in the movie is from the
There could-
villain is there can only
There
be
could
one
only
Highlander.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, like Jedi
Right,
the
right.
One.
And I think the last Highlander
right,
technically rules the world or something like that.
Something like
Really
that.
the one.
Yeah. So
It's-
like
Yeah.
It's a big dumb thing, but it's fun.
It's a big
you know.
dumb thing.
but that's
he's
yeah,
saying it like it's good though.
but let's go
Jorge's
back-
saying it like it's good. I
Well,
think
no.
he's
But let me
romanticizing
go back to
a
what I'm
horrible
saying.
show.
But no, hold on. Let me go back to what I'm saying. No, he's not talking about the show with the campiness. He was talking about the movie. The movie,
Right, I was
which
talking about-
yeah, exactly. The show comes out. They had the Highlander show, which I think was on Sci-Fi Channel, or maybe it was before.
Oh,
Yeah,
Duncan
That's okay.
McLeod.
yeah. Duncan McLeod, the Highlander, right? Here we are, born to be kings. We are
Yes.
the princes of the universe. Okay, anyway. So, regardless,
is that Undertaker? What the hell?
no, shut up. God, listen to me. All right. So,
This was
Okay,
my
images
far.
of this.
This was my Farscape era on the sci-fi.
Farscape. That's another one. Oh my
such
God.
a good show.
Hold on. Put a
Such
pin
a
on
good
that.
show.
Put a pin on that. Holy
Damn.
fuck.
All right, we'll put a
Okay,
pin on the
so
Farscape
what I'm saying is
discussion.
like Farscape, like Highlander, whatever. Okay, so and Quantum Leap. So you would have these shows that were based off. Well, in Highlander's case, it was based off a movie. They made a show of it and all that stuff. And they would always have like every immortal that Duncan MacLeod, who himself is a Highlander, or sorry, he is the Highlander, but he was like himself an immortal, would basically face off this other mortal or whatnot, right? It was kind of like the monster of the week type of situation, right? Kind of like the X-Files, but it allows the writers to basically write very interesting stories. Like, okay, what if this? And like I said, one story that for some reason always stuck into my mind was the one that like, what if there was an immortal that he encountered that was mentally challenged? So he was an immortal that lived for hundreds of years or whatnot, but mentally challenged, right?
Okay, sounds intriguing. Sure.
It was a very intriguing show because obviously, like, Duncan is compelled to have to kill the guy, cut off his head. You're supposed to
Jesus.
cut off the person's head,
Yeah.
essentially, right?
Yeah.
But
Now,
you felt pity for him.
right? It was like, what do we do with that, right? Now,
Maybe that's why he survived. Is the
no. But
empathy
here's
factor.
the thing: the end of the show, it was a very somber. Now, spoiler alert, if anybody, whatever, right?
haven't
No,
seen
we're
it.
not
the
watching
the
that,
mental
so
the
you can
mentally
spoil
the,
away.
right, exactly. But the mentally challenged Highlander, or sorry, I keep saying Highlander, immortal. Sorry, the mentally challenged immortal at one point just is tired of his life, right? And at the end of the show, he basically allows, because Duncan is nearby him, because like when when one immortal kills the other one, he just has to be nearby him and takes his quote unquote powers and becomes more powerful, whatever, right?
You love this show, dude. I can
He
tell.
he
You're so
puts his
passionate.
head because he's mentally challenged. He loves trains and everything like that. So they go on a train track and he puts his head and his neck right on the rail. as a train is coming by.
Like Inception. Inception.
Right, and then he lets the train kill him, and Duncan take his
Inception.
power.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Was it fucking Inception? I don't think it was Inception. Shut up.
They
Anyway,
did, that was a big part of it. They let themselves die. And that's
no,
why they got out
but
of the
what I'm
limbo.
saying is like that show or that episode was very like hard hitting, and you could tell like a writer was like, what if this happens when you have an immortal that essentially is tired of like being mentally challenged and understands his capability and just want to be killed by a train because he loves trains,
That was like one episode.
That was one episode, but that's what I'm saying. Is
Hold
like
on.
those 90s shows show that you have so many writers that were just trying to be like, okay, let me make a
90s
story.
had good shows, like even the Star Trek Next
Charmed.
Generation was
Right,
Charmed
because
was a good
it always
show.
had to do with the monster of the week. So the monster of the week allowed someone to basically like use their creativity to make something, out of that. Farscape was another one. X-Files was the biggest example of that too.
There's a monster in the like bottle episodes from Farscape. The first one that comes to mind was Crackers Don't Matter. You guys remember that one?
You're
Wait,
gonna have
what
to
is that?
remind me on that one. Go ahead.
That is
Demonetized.
That's not a racial thing. Maybe it should be, but but no, that was literally
Demonetized is crazy. Sorry, Twitch. I'm sorry.
that was literally the title of the episode. It was Crackers Don't Matter.
God damn it, he said it again.
He said it again. So,
By the way, most of us are Latino. Well, no, we have two Latinos. Yadu?
In the Caribbean. He's Caribbean.
Caribbean. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think
Okay.
there's any.
Yeah.
Well,
There could be Spaniard in there, likely.
Okay, anyway, go ahead. Crackers don't matter. Go.
Crackers Don't Matter. All
Yeah,
right.
crackers don't matter.
So okay. Did you, for the young bloods out there, do you guys know the premise of Farscape?
Oh, it said amen.
You're going to have to explain to them. I'm pretty sure they didn't even know what Highlander was. Come on.
All right. Cool.
Fuck off.
So-
That show wasn't that groundbreaking.
Oh, shut up! It was. You're just born
It
before
wasn't.
you.
It
was-
wasn't.
all right,
It
all right.
wasn't.
So the-
It made
so
you.
the
I bet your
premise-
parents were watching Highlander when
premise-
they conceived you.
The premise of Farscape was some astronaut from Earth, an American astronaut, John Crichton, goes up in a special experimental version of like, hey kitty, of the spaceship, of like the space shuttle or something like that, with like a special drive or something like that, and gets sucked into a wormhole and gets dropped across the galaxy and gets picked up by a ship that's a prison ship where the prisoners have just revolted and taken over the ship and subdued the guards that were on the ship.
Like Spartacus. I was kidding.
Like Spartacus. So there's this collection of there's like one, and this was like one of the last things, like this was something that Jim Henson Company worked on. So like these are puppets.
Yeah.
Like the original Yoda and things like that, but really advanced.
Sick.
It's really, really cool puppetry. And like one of them is like a political prisoner who was a former king or something like that, and another guy was thrown in jail because he was in an interracial relationship or something like that. So everyone had like their
make one of me.
Yeah. So it was everyone was on the ship for a different reason. And at one point, so they all kind of like bound together. Like John Crichton, who's this lost earthling trying to get back to home, and these escaped prisoners who all have their own things to worry about. And one of their things, this was a little bottle episode. It wasn't connected to the rest of the series.
He's making biscuits.
Where they go through this like light field. They like picked up like a hitchhiker or something like that, and they're passing through this light field. And for whatever reason, when they're passing through this like field, they all start hating each other and arguing with each other. And they're arguing over, because they had picked up a bunch of supplies, they were arguing over the crackers. They were all hoarding these like saltine crackers.
I remember this now.
Oh, they were talking about literal.
Oh my gosh.
Like literal crackers.
Has Gen Z
Like-
have been tainted that you guys think crackers is just white? Like there's a thing called saltine crackers, by the way. Was that
Actual
before you
crackers?
Yeah, I
guys?
mean,
Yeah, yeah.
no that,
Actual
but like
crackers.
Yeah,
Like,
actual
when you
crackers.
say
Sounds like
Lord of the
Lord of the
Crackers,
Flies, kinda.
crackers
Lord
don't
of the
matter.
Flies.
See, how the
so they were-
zeitgeist has just tainted so much. By the
So
way,
they were-
I don't know.
they were like they're like divided into two factions, and they were like hoarding all of these and the prop department showed up with like a bunch of saltines. So they're just piles and piles of saltine crackers that they're fighting over. And the whole bit was like that the Earthling was trying to get them to see reason and trying to not do it. And they figured out that what was happening was the hitchhiker was using the energy field to get them to turn on each other because he wanted to like harvest it or for whatever reason. And the Earthling wasn't affected because his eyes were so bad compared to all the other aliens that he was completely inferior and he wasn't affected by the light radiation as much as everyone else in the crew. So he had an advantage by being physically inferior, which was like,
wasn't that kind of like a little bit of the premise of Battlestar Galactica too? Because like the reason that
I don't think I ever actually saw that show.
no the new
Wait,
one
you never saw Battlestar Galactica?
yeah, what the
Never
hell?
thought either.
No, I never. I
Oh.
never saw
Did you vet this?
Holy
Did you
hell.
vet our host? What the fuck?
I
You never-
watched, like, every
Yes.
episode of Stargate SG-1, and for some reason I never got
Oh.
around to Battlestar.
I got a friend, a big fan of that. Dude, bro, okay, first off, no, but I think the premise of Battlestar was the fact that like the Battlestar Galactica itself was actually a downgraded not downgraded. It was just an older battleship.
Out of commission. They
Yeah,
were
it was-
going to put out of
yeah.
commission.
It was out of commission, and all the newer ships were because like they had all like the best and stuff like that, but they were exploited by the
Cylons.
the Cylons. Yeah, they were exploited by the
Yeah.
Cylons. So Battlestar, the Galactica itself, was not exploited because it was just old. That sort of
No,
thing.
Okay,
because
that makes
they had old technology. They
Right,
couldn't beat
right.
the like
and that's why they always had
hijackers and
like more
so- and
conventional
that's why
weapons
they
and
were-
stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like that
So-
premise I'm sure has been like who okay, let's go back.
Edward James almost was in that show.
Yeah.
Oh
Dude.
yeah,
Yeah.
You
he
haven't
was-
seen
that was
this
a
either,
very
Gabe?
popular show for the time.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh!
never
I'm
heard
gonna,
of this
like,
show.
one of
Didn't know it
the
existed.
best
Oh my gosh!
the best sci-fi
This is
channel
one of the best sci-fi
one of the
shows
best
ever.
sci-fi channel like sci-fi channel
It's a
produced
top
it,
three.
too. Yeah.
It's a top three.
Yeah. It's a
It's a
great
top
great
three.
show. It's a great show. I would highly recommend Battlestar Galactica. Yeah,
There-
dude, did you hear
Holy,
that?
Like
Resident Gen
I've
Z.
watched through every single episode like at least
Battlestar
5 times.
Galactica.
I don't know. Wait, we'll put a pin in this, but we'll talk
I think
about
we're-
actually what I think is the best sci-fi shows. But keep going.
There's a what? Deadpool
Okay, what
versus
is the best
Wolverine?
sci-
Fuck
what-
you.
No, that like shows
Yeah.
sci-fi. I think have expanded into outside of just like aliens and
Mhm.
AI robots. Now they're like
Sure.
in
Or like Black Mirror,
dark
you know, like
microchips.
you got
Severance.
shit like
Yeah,
that.
Severance
Black
is a
Mirror.
perfect sci-fi
Severance
show.
is a
Severance
great
is amazing.
show. Blade
Oh,
Runner,
Severance is
Blade
so good.
Runner,
I
like
yeah, I
Dune.
disagree on
Wait, that's not
Severance.
a show, though.
It's
Westworld?
not sci-fi. I think Severance is anti-capitalist
Se-
and not
Severance
sci-fi.
is a sci-fi show
hold on,
that
wait,
is
wait, wait,
You
wait,
can
wait,
do
wait.
sci-fi.
Yeah, yeah.
You can do sci-fi.
It takes place in the
anti-capitalism.
past.
No, hold on.
Severance is in the
Hold on.
past.
No,
Science
no.
fiction.
Hold on.
Yeah, that's doable.
Anti-capitalism is not a genre.
Yeah, it is.
Is it?
It
It's
sure is.
not a genre.
I think it's a theme.
You have sci-fi
Oh, yeah, it's a
shows. You have
trope.
horror, like
The
horror.
trope.
Horror. Sorry.
Trope.
You got horror movies. You got like romantic comedies. I guess that could also be
Because-
anti-capitalism. Like
And
it's not a
because,
genre.
It's also based on like 1960s vision of capitalism, and so it's definitely it's not really sci-fi because it's not futuristic. It's mostly
is-
like
no,
going
no.
back.
It doesn't always have to be futuristic. It just has to include technology that doesn't exist in
what?
our real
Fiction.
world.
You know what? Let's
Fiction
go.
of
Let's go
science. Yeah,
straight.
here
Let's
it
go
is.
straight to the definition.
No,
of
it is sci-fi. You're right. No,
Sci-fi?
I
No,
think it is
we're-
sci-fi.
Technology
What?
that doesn't exist in our world is sci-fi.
But it's very
no matter what.
anti-capitalistic, and I'm like, ooh, I'm watching this. I'm like,
Because it could be
We're-
back in the 1800s, and they can have
True.
something that we don't
That's
have.
true.
No, you're
yeah.
right.
Like
Yeah,
20
you're right.
Okay, well,
20,000
hold on.
Leagues Under the Sea would be sci-fi. 20,000
Yeah.
Leagues Under the Sea. Is
Oh
still
yeah, for
sci-fi.
sure. Well, here's the thing.
Don't know that.
A genre of fiction that creatively depicts real or imaginary science and technology as part of its plot, setting, and theme.
Mm.
That's what science
Severance, a
fiction
big
is.
theme
Yeah.
of it is
Severance fits that because
the
you know,
Where-
the
yeah.
chip.
Where's Firefly on the ranking of like sci-fi?
Firefly. I don't know that one either. I
Oh
know
my
Firefly is a DC
gosh.
villain.
Fire-
It's like, oh my,
Firefly
it's
is
a
the-
top 5 thing.
Dude, Firefly is the reason why we
Wait.
have the MCU. Let's be honest.
Wait,
because
we
of the
didn't
direction.
talk about.
Yeah. No.
We didn't talk
Yeah.
about the new Batman show, by the way. The new Batman animated show that was on
Stop
Amazon
changing
Prime.
subjects because you don't know these these shows.
Hey,
JP
hey, Yadu,
right
Yadu,
through
do
me.
you know
we can
Firefly?
talk about.
I got to
can
bring
talk
the
about
Gen Z
the-
on this guy. He
God.
seems like he's out.
We can talk-
Yadu, where are you at?
Gen Z correspondent has fallen
Gen Z
asleep.
correspondent because everything's shit. Everything's shit for Gen Z.
This is the elder millennial show right now.
It's
Yeah.
all bad.
Dude, a
Right,
lot of
elder
Gen Z
millennial and
folk-
like Gen Xer over here. Yeah, basically.
Dude, like
we were talking.
seriously,
We were
these
talking
shows
about
done in,
football
like, the-
and like
Oh.
Highlander and Farscape.
All right,
What was
So
the?
Henry
Hold on,
Cavill's
real quick,
gonna
real
be
quick.
the
wait.
next Highlander.
Hold on, I want to continue this before we move on to a topic. But speaking of sci-fi show, do you guys remember Lex? No, what's it called, Lex?
Yeah, I
Mm.
remember that show. That
Lex-
was on at like what? That was on at 11 o'clock at night on the South.
They were
Sci-Fi
definitely like, this is horny,
Yeah, I
Farscape,
know.
wasn't it?
Oh, it was
Basically,
way
horny.
yeah, horny Farscape.
It looks
Yeah.
like it looks like
Yeah.
Fifth Element. It looks like Fifth Element.
Very, yeah, which was another
I mean, the
great
fifth,
sci-fi
fifth
movie.
element is.
Oh.
Element is. Yeah,
Chris
Fifth
Tucker,
Element is-
hilarious.
That's
I
how I
love
got
Chris
married
Tucker's
to my
character.
wife was because of Fifth Element.
What?
That's a-
Really? Wow.
Yes.
That's like
We
the
we
same.
both had the same
Yeah.
DVD, and
Yeah.
we both told each other that was our favorite movies, and it was just like, oh,
Love at first sight.
It's-
from
You and your
him.
wife?
Damn.
That was.
yeah.
Wow! Congratulations,
I
sci-fi.
concur with
love
that.
couple
That was a reason I married my wife, but my story is a little bit different. In my initial story for her is she told me her favorite when I first met her. She told me her favorite bands were Alice in Chains and Tool.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know either of those.
Dude.
bands.
Oh my god.
Seriously.
Yadu,
I
do you know those
don't.
bands? Yadu. Alice in Chains.
Hell no.
Cool. My
Hey,
god,
can I
dude.
marry-
God.
all right,
Oh,
Can I
no.
marry your wife? Because I want.
Guys,
I've been trying to get
guys.
my wife to like Tool for the longest time.
I just
I can stomach it.
I just
But
noticed
she likes Fifth
next
Element,
next
JP.
guest.
Take your W's when you can.
Yeah. Next guest. Next
I
guest
know,
we're gonna
that
need
is
like a
joke.
I
We're
know.
fifth
Fifth Element W is
Is your
pretty,
wi-
is pretty awesome. That's a W to
Is
hang
your
on
wife
to.
single?
we got a question from the chatter. Is your wife single? So I just
What the
noticed
hell
we
is
definitely
cool?
next guest we definitely need like a Gen Zer guest or something because we lost
Yeah,
our
just like-
youngins.
He's stunning.
Okay, his builds character. He needs to learn. He needs to learn about other
I'm
generations.
so tired of character building, man.
Oh, hold on, why?
He just started his chapter in life. He just started the game. Like, what are you talking
I
about?
don't think I
Look at
need
Jorge.
that much character.
Character building. Dude, you're only dude,
You know-
bro, come on.
You
Character.
play
Look at
Skyrim?
me. Look at
You play
look at
Skyrim?
JP. Look at our guest. I mean,
Your
shit. Look
level
at
is not
Gabe.
ranked yet. Whoa.
No, what I'm saying is
okay,
this, that
Gabe.
dude, I will tell you this. Character building, you're tired of character building. Well, guess what, dude? You're always going to be character building, okay? And it's going to happen,
Yeah.
and it's going to build you to either a better person, hopefully, or a worse person, like Elon Musk. Who knows? Whatever. But
Yeah.
regardless,
Mandatory Elon Musk.
which
bitch.
is another
All
reason why I can't watch Iron Man anymore, by the way. That's the other problem, too.
That's Iron Man
What?
2. Oh,
What?
Yeah.
Because of Elon.
because he has
because
one
of
cameo
Elon.
in what Iron Man 2.
Yes.
Well,
Elon is
on.
literally a Nazi running our country. So yes, fuck that guy.
yeah,
But people,
exactly.
people like people who
Low
think
key it.
I hate the comparison when
not
people like
comment
Elon
on
Musk
that.
is real life Iron Man. No, he's not. He's just an investor. He's not a fucking
But
genius.
the problem was that in the early 2010s and
Yeah,
stuff like that,
definitely not a genius.
he had basically the PR that made everybody believe that he was it. And I mean, even like people were talking about, like writers were talking about Iron Man was based off of him or some bullshit like that, right?
Did you see the
I
video
never
of
really
him?
think
Like
so.
they're
It's like-
touring SpaceX and they ask him something. He doesn't know what the fuck he's.
Oh
talking
yeah,
about.
no, he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. The interviewer
All right.
actually tells him what it is, and then he uses it for another interview. Anyway, regardless. So
So
Go ahead. Yeah, and actually, I'm gonna get in my
I
other
was
drink.
gonna-
JP.
I was gonna
we
break
just went
us
a
to,
political Elon Musk rant there. Oh my god.
No, I want to bring us, since we went to politics, bring this back to OWS, where me and TJ go back.
Like a long way.
Dude, like, I can't remember what the fuck I was even chanting when I was doing the protesting down, like, the downtown streets on LaSalle. And, yeah, and I'm just like,
Solid,
what the
JP.
fuck was I saying? Like, I don't remember
No,
saying
so
that
you're
shit,
Jackson.
but I was there.
That
LaSalle
was God. I remember. Yeah, it's Occupy Chicago, which was
Oh,
It was
20
amazing.
I know this guy.
2011. Well,
Yeah.
it was the dudes at the Board of Trade like put up those like signs of like we're the 1% paying for this or some shit like that,
Mm.
which was, but as like a political activism thing, like it was tactically genius. I will always say that the Occupy strategy was tactically very good
Well,
because it was just
It created
which-
Bernie Sanders.
right. It created Bernie Sanders.
Who lost?
You know, who
Well,
lost
yeah.
and you know
Because
I
the
don't.
Democrat machine, just kind of
Well-
like really railroaded him.
Yeah,
They could have
he
got
should've been
behind
the-
him.
They
they
could have
could've, like,
they could
you know.
have.
Well,
They
people
could have-
associate Bernie Sanders way too much with socialism, and that's what prevents him from being the nominee usually.
which is
Well-
not a bad thing in and of
Yeah,
itself.
Wait a
because
minute.
AOC is going to be the next one, and she's going to be
think?
associated with that. Oh yeah, for
She's
sure.
awesome. God, she's
Wait,
smart.
you think
She's
what?
Smart as
Who's gonna be who?
AOC is going to be
man.
the next president.
You think she's gonna be the next president?
I'm gonna say
Yeah.
I'm gonna say
And
I don't
That's
know.
that's actually not a bad theory because think about how bad George Bush was, and it gave us Obama.
Yeah. No, it's
Yeah.
true. It's true.
But she-
Accelerationism
AOC
is
The
a
fact
legit
that I
thing.
can remember that is like telling.
she's got the charisma. She's really like I
Technically
watched.
savvy.
I don't mind
right,
AOC, but I just
I think AOC is a unifying enough force for like left-leaning people. I think Biden and Kamala Harris were just not unifying enough for the left-leaning
Well,
No,
portion of
especially-
America.
especially after Gaza too. So
Yeah,
that was the
exactly.
other thing.
I
See,
think-
Gaza didn't cause them votes. What caused them votes was the fact that inflation was crazy, and the fact that got put on every single administration that existed during that time.
Basically,
It wasn't really,
labor.
know-
Labor got UK, because of the inflation.
Yeah.
Like Conservative Party
Exactly.
lost there, so it was the other way
Yeah.
around, right?
Like, if Trump was
Yeah.
president, he would not have won this election.
Well, he didn't win because of COVID. That was his basically loss. But then
Yeah,
because
it
he
would
was
always
there,
saying if he had
And, like,
existed from
right,
2000
and
to
Biden's like
2024,
DOJ
he
with
would've lost.
like Merrick Garland was
Yeah.
fucking feckless and didn't actually prosecute
Really,
him,
like,
which was
yeah.
so.
Well, I'm not
fucking
even
annoying.
I'm not even worried about all that shit because they would have found a way around that shit anyways. They would have ran it up in the courts, and
I mean, they
like,
did. He spent
people are-
millions of
Well-
dollars, basically, like delay.
mean-
Here's the thing about the courts is that
you're the guy to talk to about this.
I know. I know.
Crackers
I'm
don't
the,
care. Boom. Yeah.
I'm the attorney here. I'm the federal court attorney.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We don't talk about that.
He drew a very favorable judge in Florida.
Oh,
And judges-
Eileen Cannon was corrupt. Clearly corrupt.
well, it's judge assignments are random,
Mm.
and every judge is a little bit different, and
Yeah.
he could have gotten a completely by the roll of the dice he could have gotten a completely different judge in Florida, and we're talking about President Kamala Harris today.
Look,
That's
I would be,
which kind of makes me sad because I and like Kamala Harris reminds me a lot of my wife in a lot of positive ways, and that makes me very sad because I'm pretty sure my wife could do as good a job running the country as anybody else. So
yeah.
that's a
Yeah.
total.
One thing that I was told, which someone that also was like really sad, which was telling, was just like, it was my wife basically told me this. One thing that I heard her like kind of like quake her voice a little bit too is just the fact that like,
Mm.
oh, I guess the United States preferred a criminal over a woman, you know, at the end of that, you know, and
Yeah.
that just was, I mean, it was, that was her take. And
Yeah.
I mean,
There's some truth to that. There's,
Yeah.
I mean,
There's more. It's more.
It's
than
sad.
that.
It's
I'm
sad.
not.
It's really where
by
we're
any
at.
way a Trump fan at all.
Oh,
But
you're
he
totally a
was
Trump fan.
a-
What are you talking about? You were a Jordan
I'm
Peterson
not.
fan at one point. By the way, guys, Topical Drinks lore.
Oh God.
I had to
First,
pull. I
all
had to
have
pull.
weird-
I had to
I'm
pull
an
Gabe
academia
out of
fan.
that.
No, so-
I'm an academia
To
fan.
Gabe's
right?
point, there are different reasons why people support Trump. It's not all one big
Exactly.
monstrosity.
Oh
There
no,
are different reasons.
I agree
I
with
don't
that.
know.
I
I
get
don't
know
that.
A bouquet.
I
of
think
these-
Yeah.
I think if you support Trump, it's not that people have said it a lot. It's
I
not
don't.
that you necessarily support a racist, but you're very okay with the racist things he
Yeah.
says.
You're okay.
Right.
Exactly.
Because
Right.
I'll never figure out how he managed to convince like working class America that he was their champion. Like that always confused
I don't
me.
know. I don't understand that either. I don't.
Bring
And
it back.
Yeah,
I
like-
happen to
Yeah.
personally know
I'm a
people.
billionaire. I'm going to help you make
Yeah,
money.
I know
Right.
people right now who voted for him, and now their
Mhm.
welfare just got taken away because of his
Oh,
administration.
dude, we still have like the Latinos for
The lepers are very full.
Yeah, you have the Hispanics for Trump. That lady that just like, we're gonna vote for Trump, and literally like, what was it, a week ago or 2 weeks ago? She's just like, basically trashing Trump right now. You know that
Oh,
lady.
the Venezuelan lady.
Yeah,
got a-
exactly.
yeah.
Leopards eat faces. Oh boy.
I've got a
saw that.
story
That was
on it.
interesting.
I've got a story on that
Oh.
that kind of ties together a
Sure.
couple other things. I went.
Ties together Marvel.
Well, no. Well, we can. There's some. Doesn't tie together Marvel, but I went to the Bears Patriots game at Soldier Field this
Oh,
year,
Football.
the
All right.
weekend after the election, and
The
horrible
worst
game.
game, by the way, was a horrible
Oh,
game.
terrible.
Jesus Christ.
terrible, depressing,
Oh,
and
yeah.
you know,
So depressing. It's like the election happens
I'll-
and the
I'll-
Bears just. Anyway, sorry.
and
Go ahead.
the crowd at Soldier Field, because of the demographic that you're getting, skews a little more right than the
Yeah.
city of Chicago. I was sitting in the upper deck with my cousin, and some like really nice guys to the right of us, who were sitting to the right of us, Hallis Hall water cooler worthy fans, I will say, very bright guys. But there was this guy in front of us with his brother, two Latino guys, and this dude comes in an fucking Eagles jersey, and he's like cheering for the Patriots, like really loud, because he says that his brothers. I don't know. I ain't going to try to explain it. His brother's a Patriots fan or whatever, and he like goes in. There was like something in it. He got into it with the guys, with some like guys next to him. He was like saying like Trump's my man. Like, dude, he's like a second father to me. And I just bust out laughing. I started laughing my ass off. And he thinks I'm with him. And he's like, yeah, this guy knows what I'm talking about. And I'm like, you fucking fool. Like,
Mhm.
and it's like no man, like I got my papers, like it's like I said, like he fucking hates you. And it's like, no man, I got my papers, I'm all good, I'm all legal and all that kind of stuff. It's like, it doesn't matter. He
Doesn't
hates
matter.
everyone
Yeah.
who isn't in his little country club ass clique. He hates me too. And you can vote for him and you can respect his politics, but don't act like he's your fucking friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he shut his
Is
ass
there-
up. For the rest of
Yeah.
There is some more news, which by the way, shout out to Some More News, a really good YouTube. I would highly recommend those guys. They had a
Love 'em.
video just recently about dear Trump voters, his policies will hurt you too, basically.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of them just really do not understand, right? But you know what? Let's switch it up.
Wait,
Okay,
wait. Before we switch it up, I'm just kind of like
right.
distraught that you guys really think that AOC is a great 2028 candidate. I don't think so.
Here's the thing.
I think
She only has an
I
undergrad
will
degree.
tell you that she is
she
a
doesn't
slam
have an.
dunk.
Hold on.
Gonna beat
she's
everybody
more
on
likely
this
to
plate.
rally like.
I'm sorry. Just because she doesn't have an
this-
undergrad degree, do you think Trump has like the fucking qualifications educationally? Come on, don't give me that shit.
Do you know his
Yeah, but his
education
base
degree?
doesn't
Do you know
give-
his
his base
education
doesn't
background?
give
Yeah,
shit.
we know his education. It's bullshit, dude.
Cory Booker is more educated. He can do it.
He's a corporate
no,
Democrat,
it's-
man. He's a corporate
No,
Democrat.
Cory Booker just voted to allow all the Trump nominations to go through. So that guy's done for.
Yeah,
What-
he's
what
done.
I
Cory
would
Booker's
say-
done.
But I would say, if
Yeah.
you're
Rahm Emanuel from
skeptical-
Chicago. Rahm Emanuel from Chicago.
Stop!
are you
You
kidding?
stop!
The
Stop!
He
Stop!
might-
Stop!
he might
Stop!
do
Stop!
it.
Stop!
He
The
might
only,
do
the
it.
only, the only person.
Adams runs.
Yeah, dude. The only Democrat that I think would be a good run would be one of the governors, and I personally, Pritzker. I fucking
Kamala,
love Pritzker.
again.
Our great con
Kamala
Pritzker,
again.
right? Love that
Yeah,
dude.
because Gretchen Whitmire just denied
Oh, you
minimum
love
wage
Pritzker?
increases.
Yeah, Pritzker.
Yeah.
Yes, the guy's awesome. But by the way,
He's,
side
he's
note.
phenomenal.
Another
Side note,
billionaire.
but-
You
He
were
is
just
really
talking
good.
about
Hold on,
billionaires.
but side note. Here's the thing.
The
Look,
Pritzker family.
I would be
Let me, like,
very
run through them.
hopeful. Well, dude, look at what he did for Illinois and
scared
stuff
of
like that.
them,
It's completely like he did a great
What?
thing very progressively, which I didn't vote for Pritzker at the very beginning.
Explain it. What do you do?
Well, okay, so one of the
Oh,
first
I'll
things.
tell you right now.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm in local government. There's like probably 70 programs you don't know exist that help minorities like start businesses. Like you could get like, say you want $1 million loan, Illinois will give you 50% off on that loan, and give you 2% lower interest than any commercial bank. Illinois will do that kind of shit for you. If you go to Texas, they won't do that. If you go to Florida, they won't do that. Pritzker does that stuff so that it helps minorities get their foot in the door. And then there's also pretty much you could get a 10-year half off discount on if you're a business and you want to hire people, you only have to pay for 50% of the income tax that you pay employees.
Awesome.
And so you are automatically given a huge boost up to be a major business player in Illinois because of that.
And there was other
So
two,
there's things like that.
and there was other two big
And that's
ticket
what I-
things.
yeah.
And there was
Oh,
other
interesting.
two big ticket things that he did. I think I explained this to you before
Yeah.
as well. One, he basically, no more private prisons in Illinois. That was one thing, right? Rauner,
Yeah.
who was our
That's
previous
great.
governor, was actually a dude that
Great thing.
invested on private prisons, which is a whole
He
fucking
actually
shit.
fired
And then
half
this-
the EPA staff
Right.
as well.
And then the second thing was the one of the first bills that he wrote was that Illinois business or any businesses that like would ask anybody that lives in Illinois cannot ask you what your previous salary is, which was really good, especially for women
Yeah.
that would
Ooh,
always be
I feel like
paid
that.
less and all that stuff.
So that means
All right,
I can just say,
everyone-
like,
Okay,
law.
but actually, damn, everybody's going to the bathroom right now because I actually wanted to like get out of politics for a
It's a
bit.
good time for a bathroom break. Let's do that. Let's
I
take
guess
a quick
so.
bathroom
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh,
Everybody's going to the bathroom. What the fuck? All
Do
right,
the
I
music,
can't hold
do
it
the
down.
music, yeah.
Now that Max just came in, JB Pritzker over here. Max said it, dude. Our great con, our Connet, JB Pritzker, man. I fucking love him. But I wanna preface back to
I
AOC
don't know
real
if I
quick.
can
Look,
say all that.
I would be hopeful. I will tell you this. I would be hopeful that AOC becomes president. I would love that. I honestly would love that. Do I
wouldn't.
think it's gonna happen? That's the part that I'm pessimistic about that. Like that's why I
You
would
know
say,
why? Because you have the Democratic elite's going to block her.
well, they
that's the only
already
thing
like
that's gonna
yeah,
stop
because
things.
Pelosi already blocked her in terms of that, talking about like
And-
seniority with
That
some
actually
dude
made
that
her-
has like cancer,
Yeah.
essentially, right? Like
Yeah, well, that actually made her more powerful because it put her onto another committee.
exactly. That's the problem.
And
Is
it made
that
her.
she's
'cause
still
it-
more
like,
powerful.
Pelosi doesn't know. Yeah.
Like
She
she,
probably
Pelosi
she makes
doesn't know
makes
what she's doing.
she
In the
makes a
future, I
Twitch
think she's still
she
too
makes a
green.
Twitch like
Green.
like what do you call it, like Among Us like stream, which to this I
Yeah.
think to this day is still the biggest most watched Twitch stream in history.
Yeah.
You know?
I would say anyone who is skeptical about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, watch the questions she asks during
Oh,
congressional hearings.
Yeah.
does
Just
that?
watch.
she's
It's
so
usually
good.
available.
Watch C-SPAN. Just
Yeah,
watch,
watch
the
C-SPAN. Yeah.
No, I mean I'm dead serious. I mean that
Topical
was one
Drinks
reason why.
endorses C-SPAN.
That's one reason why I loved
I don't know.
Kamala is because, but if you watch, but you can tell people. Maybe it's different just because of my experience from law school and being an attorney. Is that there's an art to knowing what questions to ask,
Yes,
Your
there
credentials
is.
are
how
better
to
than
phrase
AS,
it.
by the way.
Speaking of
And
congressional hearings,
Your
the fact
credentials are higher
that
than AS.
RFK got confirmed is insane to me.
He's gonna get
Oh,
confirmed.
jeez.
They're going to get confirmed
was
No, yeah,
regardless.
he already did. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they're going to
But
get
no,
confirmed. It's just like
to
all it is. Like you just got to
Tom's
wait for
point,
them to
so-
fuck up, and then that's what I don't know.
So-
Whatever. You know what?
Dude,
Hold on.
I don't
Hold
have
on.
enough-
Hold on.
Hold on a second.
all right. I don't have enough.
Let's get Adam.
I don't have enough rum to get through an
Yeah,
RFK conversation.
Honest. Oh, dude. Yeah,
I've got a
honestly.
lot of rum in my house.
But
I
hold on,
want to
hold on.
talk
Yeah,
about the
What? No, hold on.
one thing.
Is it politics?
It is. It's about like having
Oh.
somebody with a voice. So like I am actually running for local office and
Yes.
probably gonna win.
Yeah.
And then there are
Smart as they come.
people on the board that are very good at keeping people accountable, and it pisses off people. Keeping people accountable, and it's like, and they lack certain tact, and
Okay. All right. We got you, buddy. All right.
no. I'm trying to get to the point of the AOC where she has that tact, where she has these hard-hitting questions, and you need to ask those questions.
I think
And you need to make people feel
100%.
uncomfortable.
I'm gonna say
she's
this.
like-
100%.
Oh, no.
She is what she does is great. I think everybody here except maybe Gabe loves AOC, and I would like say that stuff.
I
Now,
don't mind her. I just think she's
I
too
would-
green to be a presidential candidate.
Too
I would
green,
mainly- I
dude. How
would
many
mainly
years has she
say-
been in already, man?
Just-
Come on.
Yeah.
Too
I,
green.
I
Yeah.
would say don't take our word for it.
Yeah.
Don't take our word for it. You can
Go to her district.
What, like
She wrote it
7
in
years
the-
now already?
you can totally see for yourself. That is not, a lot
I've
of people
seen clips of her.
All right.
watch long form. Watch long.
Watch
like,
the long
What
forms.
is
Yeah,
the
for
proper-
sure.
What is the proper structure to help you decide on a candidate that best fit your needs? What do you think is the template?
You gotta get.
Gen
I
Z
think you gotta get.
going at new voters should be doing. Me myself, ALC. You're saying
You gotta get the working class.
Why?
It's plain and simple.
Got a what?
I think you. I think
You gotta
have
get
to
the working class. Sorry.
What are you saying?
I think you do. I think you do have to get into policy proposals and get into the weeds, because
Okay.
changes to a statute can make a big difference. Kind of like
Policy proposals are very important. Yes.
no, but more than policy proposals is it's looking at what the existing statute says. Like you can go the Illinois, for example, the Illinois compiled statutes are free online to view by anyone. You can look it up. You can just Google it.
Better
and you
damn
say,
well
what's
be.
the law?
I'm a constituent.
Well,
I'm
yeah,
gonna see my
yeah.
laws.
That's the thing, is that you can look it up. Sometimes case law is a little harder to look up to, but there are places like Westlaw and Lexis that use a subscription. But there's also, I think, the Cornell University Law School puts a lot of stuff online. And as far as reading that material, you can get into the weeds as a novice. You don't need a law degree to do it. Every person who is a lawyer was at one point a novice reading these cases for themselves in law school. And you can Google what case is controlling in such and such, like in asylum law. You can Google what case is controlling in asylum law in the United States. And you can see that for purposes of asylum, it doesn't matter how you came into the country. It is a non-factor. It is literally moot. You can come into the country legally. You can come into the country illegally. If you apply for asylum in the United States, that will not affect your application. And by law, you cannot be deported while your application is pending. Period. Full stop. That's the law. I think a lot of people have a sense of what's legal and illegal without knowing the actual law. And that's something that, like, when I was in law school, I graduated in 2019. So we dealt with a lot of stuff from Trump Part 1. And I got involved when I was in law school with the ACLU, and someone from the
Part 1.
Illinois ACLU was nice enough to come down and give a talk to us students about what was going on with the child separation policy. How much of that was actually derived from the Obama administration. And it wasn't nothing. But also the ways and how they could tell this particular policy was deliberate, and how it was violating the law, and why it was violating the law, and why these people were here completely legally, and why it was nonsense that they were being treated the way they were. So that's something, and you can ask people and they will tell you. Lawyers are usually, I don't want to bore you with the law that I do, but lawyers are usually willing to talk about fields generally that they're in. You can ask an attorney about that. You can find one, or you can, actually the best resource is law school professors. You can go to the list of professors who are teaching at, like, Chicago Kent, my alma mater, or UIC Law School, or
I know I have a few clients from you. Yes, I have a few
Right.
professor law school. Yeah, of course.
right. You can just email them and say, hey, what's the deal with this? Usually their emails are kind of public information, and you can just, like, if you just ask and not yell at them and just say, like, what's the deal with this particular thing, there's a decent shot they'll get back to you with a concise answer. So there's a lot of misunderstanding about what the law is and what it's not. And I think people don't get that. And that's where asking the right question really comes in. And you can tell with just a little bit of practice, if you watch enough of this stuff, like if you watch a full congressional hearing, you can tell who's serious, who's done their homework, and who's not. And to circle back to bring it all the way back to AOC, she's either herself or whoever she's paying in her office, which is an underrated factor to this.
Yep. They're giving her the right questions.
Yes, they're doing their homework. They're reading up on this. They're reading up what the
I think
statutes
she should
are.
have a law degree
reading-
then before she thinks she can qualify for be president.
I think
Well,
she's
no, that doesn't make
Does
actually
Trump
no.
does Trump have a
Because
law degree? Trump doesn't have a fucking law degree in his president.
Yeah,
Come on,
but
fuck.
No,
I say
you-
Trump
first
is
of all-
qualified to be president? Did I
Hey,
say
Jay,
that?
I'm totally cool with having a
Please
law
focus.
degree or being past the bar at a qualification for
So-
president. As an attorney, I'm cool with that being a factor. If we want to amend the
Yeah.
Constitution to say
But
that a person has to be 35 years old with a law
a
degree,
good president needs to
Yeah.
be somebody that has people surrounding them that are good people that should be able to advise them on those things. So you don't have to be
No,
a
they should
lawyer.
have gone through rigorous study. I'm a math major. Okay, I would not want someone to expect me to give them the rigmarole on law. Okay, I would not want that. I wouldn't want them to expect that from me. If someone's the president of the
And why
United
would you
States
expect
and
that
they're-
from the president? Stop right there.
because
Why
they
would you
have
expect that
they
from the
have
president?
direct control on what laws can be passed as well.
But
they-
no, it's not just about that. It's not just about direct control. It's about having the right advisors. So
Yeah,
you don't
You have to
have
have
to
I don't
be
know
a
those
lawyer.
guys. They're shadows
Well,
in the
that's-
dark. They're shadows in
You
the
can-
dark.
but you can tell from particular like
Yeah.
into a press conference, Trump doesn't even
Come on,
know
man.
what the law. He doesn't even know what the law is.
You
He
want
doesn't know
me to
the
go
exact
from
law.
Obama, Harvard,
Right. Hold
JD, Harvard,
Let's
JD,
go
to
back to,
AOC, bachelor
Ted-
degree from
let's-
Boston
let's-
University? It
hold on,
doesn't
hold on
make
a second.
sense.
Let's
They
go
used
back
to
in
go to
American
school,
history.
though.
Let's go. Let's
It
let's
doesn't
rewind
make
to
sense.
let's rewind to Teddy Roosevelt. So
Teddy Roosevelt,
yeah, I'm gonna give you an
Roosevelt.
example.
the Rough
Very
Rider.
interesting guy. Very
Oh,
interesting
I'm
guy.
gonna. We're
He's
gonna
good.
roll some tape back to him.
Cardi B's favorite
This-
president, apparently. No,
Th-
frequently
this
president,
dude,
excuse me.
this dude started off as pretty much far right, and one guy walked up to him one day, "Hey, we gotta go watch and look at the ghetto and see what's going on down there." and he went from far right to progressive
I'm
because of
sorry,
this
bro.
visit.
It was
And
yeah, no, he's
Your
right.
proposal to field trip. Okay.
No,
Keep
because TR wasn't he the chief of police in New York at one point?
yeah,
He was
he
the
was
chief
a
of
hard
police in
right
New York.
person that wanted to beat the shit out of everybody that disagreed with the law. And then
Right.
one day he showed up and said, "I'm going to be the mayor of New York, and I'm going to make sure that we are going to take care of all of our residents, and we're going to be progressive as shit." And the Republican Party was like, "You know what? We're going to make you vice president because we want to shut you the hell up."
Yeah,
And that's what they did to him.
Yes,
bro,
that's
bro,
true.
wait, here's the thing. I want to circle back a little bit. Sorry, I actually spilled my beer, so I was listening. I was listening, but I was cleaning up the entire time, and I
Yeah.
had a lot of things to say. But I'm just gonna like roll it back, right, dude? Like again, this whole notion of like it's a double standard, which was always something that Kamala had to deal with and Trump never had to deal with. It was always a fucking
Oh,
double
yeah.
standard
It's
in which like,
perfection
now
versus
everyone's like, yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, AOC is
Yeah.
like not qualified, none of that, dude. What she's doing right now just absolutely shows
Qualifies her.
how she's
But
qualified. It doesn't matter
talking
whether
to
or not
me.
she doesn't have the
talking to
masters
me.
for it. Yes, I'm
I
talking to
don't
you
think
right now.
Donald
Actually,
Trump, it does matter. It
yeah,
does matter.
No, it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, the current president, the current president does not have any of
It doesn't
that.
touch it.
The
It doesn't
entire-
touch it.
But that's the thing. This
So-
is where
Alright,
we
Jorge,
lose. This
Jorge,
is where we
you ruined my
lose,
story.
man.
You ruined my story, man.
Yeah, sorry,
So
dude.
just
I
take a
actually,
step back
no, I'm
and
sorry.
let me have
I
this-
wanted
let me have
to.
this moment.
He was
I wa-
telling me about Teddy, man. Go back to Teddy.
I know. I actually wanted to go
Pretty
back to Marvel.
So
actually.
let's go back to Teddy. So Teddy is going through this whole thing where
Drunk
he's
history over here. Shout out to the drunk history.
trying to figure out what he wants in life and what he wants to do. So he's a guy that like went out to
We didn't.
the
we
Western-
Didn't, guys. We didn't.
the Western Front in
Can I get a
America
tap?
where it was unsettled
Yeah.
and you're trying to find gold and all that
I'm
shit.
loving your tap for you.
And
I'm sorry, JP.
and so he's doing all that stuff.
Let JP talk.
And so yeah, he like totally disrupted my train of thought. It's like I'm blaming you on that one, Jorge.
Talking about Teddy Roosevelt.
Dude, we got a straight up
And so-
chatter that says whoever was saying that AOC is less qualified than Trump is dumb as shit. Ooh,
Yeah.
that's
No
a
one
straight
said
stab.
that.
Alright,
No one said
so-
that.
so-
No one
but
said
Teddy
that.
Roosevelt, he
No one
he
said
was
that.
able-
No one said
because
that.
he
No
was
one said
able
that.
to
But keep going.
he was able to turn the Republican Party into a progressive party because of him, because of what he did and what he accomplished.
And then Nixon
And
happened.
they hold on, and no. So they tried to shut him down, and so that by shutting him down, they made him vice president to McKinley. McKinley was assassinated in the first 6 months, and all of a sudden TDR was president. And they're like, "Oh shit, what did we just create?" And he became the most popular president in American history.
Up to that point.
In American history.
At that point, yeah.
No, like he was more popular than FDR. Teddy Roosevelt went to form a third party, and that killed his popularity because he didn't want to be part of Republicans and Democrats. He wanted to form a progressive party, and he got shut down by both.
The Bull and Moose.
Yeah,
right?
the Bull Moose Party.
Yep.
And so, and then what
Fascinating.
happened was he got shot in the fucking chest, and then
And
went and did
still
an
made a
84
speech.
minute speech.
Yeah.
And like, granted, he had like his speech protect him. Like it hit like 84 pages of paperwork that he apparently had to like give a speech, but still, he was bleeding and giving a speech. But
All right.
the point is that you could change a party by being that change, not by saying, "Oh, fuck that, I'm not gonna do that." I'm like, you
That's
have
true.
to be that change.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what AOC is doing. And that's why AOC will beat
She'd be a
every
great vice
fucking
president.
person.
She'd be a great vice president.
No.
Teddy
You-
Roosevelt was Harvard University.
All right, guys.
Columbia University.
Oh,
Teddy
don't
Roosevelt was
do
Harvard.
that
Here's the thing,
qualification.
here's the thing.
That's all bullshit.
Fuck
What
outta
you're saying.
here.
That's
Get the fuck
bullshit.
outta
What
here.
you're saying,
But I
dude.
think-
Come
I think-
on.
Outta here. The
If
bullshit
anything,
here.
No.
we could have a ton of examples of people who went to Harvard and shit who are unqualified as hell.
That's not the
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, Ted
That's
Cruz.
Not the point.
How about that? Ted Cruz,
not
for
the point.
example. Like fuck
Yeah,
that
Ted
shit,
Cruz is a
dude.
bad
All
example.
that shit, all that pedigree. That's why Jordan Peterson, for some reason, like everyone knows, like oh, he's so like Harvard, like not Harvard,
He's
whatever.
a
Like
PhD in
educated. The
psychology.
dude is a
Okay.
dumb
All right,
fucking shit.
Gabe,
But anyway,
what
regardless,
school did Trump
Fucking
go to?
Vivek
What school
Ramaswamy's
did Trump go
dumbass
to?
went to Harvard. I hate
yeah,
him.
exactly, right.
Gabe, what school did Trump go to?
Trump went to UPenn.
UPenn.
All right, so fuck off with that argument.
Mm.
That's all I gotta say.
What-
All right,
there you go.
does that have
All
to-
right,
I'm
you know
not
what? You want? I
arguing
want.
that
Sorry.
qualified.
Let's.
I'm not- you're
Okay.
arguing to the
Hold
wrong person.
on.
I'm not saying that.
Hold on. Full stop on all this
I
stuff.
didn't mean to be harsh. I'm just
There
saying.
was one conversation. Sorry, that was one conversation that Yadu actually wanted to bring up, and I think it's actually kind of important. So it relates to Marvel, right? So everybody's
Back to Marvel.
played Marvel. Well,
Back to Marvel.
I've never played Marvel Rivals, but Marvel Rivals is one of the biggest games right now.
It's
out
doing
there.
great
that's
right
bad.
now.
Doing great.
Layoffs.
Exactly.
Yes.
So essentially the entire US based team was laid off, right?
Shit.
Which is recent
Okay.
news. Actually, it happened like what, a day ago, 2 days ago?
Yeah,
Something
it
like
was
that?
yesterday. It was yesterday, I think,
right?
because they announced it with a bunch of new shit for Marvel Rivals, and then they like kind of snuck that pill in that cheese.
Right. Now, and this kind of goes into politics a little bit because obviously the Gamergate dipshits and stuff like that like don't know what to say about this because this is pure capitalism at its worst. That you have a game that is doing very, very fucking well, and yet you still lay off the development team that got you there, right? And a lot of times though, NetEase, which is a Chinese company, might have done the layoffs because of the upcoming issues that they're going to have with tariffs and everything like that with the Trump administration. So part of this is really another thing that was affected by the current administration that they said, yeah, all right, you know what, we're going to lay off the U.S. team at this very moment, even though this game is making us millions.
People think Blizzard, because I mean, as far as I understand,
Boycott
it's only
Marvel
like
Rivals. Boycott.
six people.
I don't even play it in general because I'm
No,
kind
Jay
of
wasn't
Blue
gonna
Eye.
boycott until he said it was a Chinese company.
No, anyway, Yadu, you mentioned it, Yadu. I said, nah, I'm decent. All
right,
Um,
so as a Marvel fan, Tony, God, Tom, sorry, I don't know why I said Tony. Tom,
You get my name right. 2 hours and 2 drinks into talking about.
I'm
That means you're having a good time.
I'm at drink number 4, 3.
Cheers to
Okay,
drink.
yeah,
Yeah, cheers, by the way, cheers.
Cheers to your liver fighting for its
Cheers to
life.
oh, by the way, I am
at the-
drinking locally, like from Chicago, Moore's Brewery. Here we go, Moore's.
There we go.
Moore's
Hey,
Brewery.
I
Highly
went-
recommend
I went
these guys.
I went with anyone watching on the stream who saw me making my second drink of the night with the shaker tin that I had over here. I made myself I went classic. I went with just the old Trader Vic style Mai Tai to go with it, using that Mai Tai blend that I have. There's this guy, Kevin Crossman, who comes up with amazing blends of rums for Mai Tais. It's awesome. God, it's just,
Nice.
it's
Send
so
us
good.
all
Like,
rums.
I like your Mai Tais, right?
I do because it's like it's a medium that's designed for showcasing all the complexity you can get in an aged rum.
right.
That's what's really cool about it because it's basically a rum margarita.
Whoa.
At the end of the day, that's what a Mai Tai is.
I thought
it's
it was a
orange
fighting
with-
style.
No, that's Muay Thai. That's Muay Thai.
Muay Thai.
Muay Thai.
Mai Tai,
Which is-
Muay Thai.
Muay Thai, which is Muay
With the knees and elbows.
Yeah.
Knees and elbows.
Which
Yeah.
had the best
So
movies,
it-
by the way. Best martial arts movies were Muay Thai movies.
Protector. Is that multi?
That was one. That was one.
And for real, it comes from Oakland, California, of all places.
Oakland.
And
Oakland.
yeah, the Mai Tai was invented
Oakland.
by a guy named
Famous for
Victor
the Raiders.
Bergeron.
They don't have the Raiders anymore, by the way.
That's right. In Oakland, California, at his bar called Trader Vic's, out in Oakland, California, and he wanted something that was simple, like the martini and the Manhattan and the old fashioned, that would just showcase the best qualities of old Jamaican rum. And boy, it's good.
Yeah.
like
Oh,
the flavor that I keep
no.
thinking of is
Tom,
Actually,
Yeah.
actually,
Have you ever
Tom,
been to
Tom,
Puerto Rico?
What?
Have you been in Puerto Rico to go to the Bacardi Mansion and try all the different
Oh,
rums
the
there?
Bacardi mansion. That's really interesting. So, all right. All right. So on the Bacardi stuff, there's this great book called "And a Bottle of Rum: A History of the New World in Seven Cocktails," and it traces the history of rum drinks in the Americas based off of different eras, going all the way back to the grog that sailors would drink on board ship in like the 18th century, like pirates, like going all the way back to pirate days, tracing all the way through like the mojito craze of like the early 2000s. And it talks about Bacardi in Cuba and how the charcoal filtration and what they had in Cuba and Havana during the 20s when prohibition was going on, because Havana was just like 90 miles away from Florida. So people would just go to Cuba to drink in the 20s. And the Bacardi distillery made out like bandits in the 20s and 30s off of American travelers. And that became a defining flavor. You have the famous La Floridita. You guys have ever heard of the La Floridita in Cuba?
No.
All right, so there's this bar in Cuba in Havana, Cuba called La Floridita.
You been there?
No, I haven't. I want to go there, but that's like the original like the OG place to get a daiquiri.
Mm.
Based off of like the original Cuban rum recipe, which
Yeah,
involves
Bacardi's from Cuba, right?
right Bacardi of like filtering the rum, of like sanding all of the rough edges off it. It's a little different to me because my
Bacardi
wife,
Ocho's my favorite.
right? Because like, oh, I heard Bacardi Ocho is really good. I haven't had a chance to
I
try
love it.
but
And it's
big fan,
inexpensive. Yeah.
yes, I'm a big fan of Ron de Barrito, 3-star, which is like an aged Puerto Rican rum. Like that's fucking
Nice.
awesome. And then when I was in Italy, because they don't have any weird trade shit with Cuba in Italy, is I got a chance to try Havana Club 8-year in just a straight up daiquiri, like
Damn, son.
8-year, like it's just a bar on the beach in Positano, and I said to the bartender, like, what do you got? Like, can I get like a daiquiri? Like, I see like you got like Havana Club 8-year on the shelf. Like, can you just make me just a plain shaken daiquiri? And he was like, yeah, I can, man. I'll do that. And I was like, fuck, this is good. Because
Right,
it's just
right.
like,
All you guys, I gotta make a party at my place. All do like we're just gonna fucking drink, man.
Just
we
drink.
we Jim from last week has already committed to my party. Tony,
Deep dish rum
Tony,
party.
Tom, sorry,
rum party.
Tom, dude,
God
fuck yeah.
damn.
By the way, actually, one thing I did want to say was another pin that I had to pull out right now. Right, there was a place in Vegas, no longer here. I actually looked it up. Unfortunately, it permanently closed. It was called Lost Spirits. It's over at Area 15. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Area 15 in Vegas.
I'm going to Vegas next month for the first time.
Oh, definitely go to Area 15. It's amazing
Dude,
place.
hold on.
Very, very cool. Hold on. Wait a
I've
second.
been there.
There was this place called Lost Spirits, which was basically a kind of very what do you call it? What do you call, like, it's kind of like a circusy steampunk situation. Like if you ever seen like the movie, like the Smashing Pumpkins had like the
Oh,
the music
33.
video.
Watchmen.
Holly and the Infinite Sadness, like
Right. Or
yeah,
like you
yeah.
know, it was like very weird. They had like
Oh.
fishes with
I can
human
talk
faces
about that
and
album
stuff like
for another
that.
hour. Shit.
Right.
Ugh.
But anyway, regardless, you would go to this place.
We're getting into more elder millennial Gen X talk right here.
But sorry.
Damn it.
So you would go to this place, and basically it's like a kind of a maze type of thing, and you're looking for like these rum stations, and it was a rum distillery, right? And you were looking for these rum stations, but in between you were looking for these rum stations, they would have these like random acts, like of these either contortionists or like a lady that was like balancing like knives, or like a dude that was doing like a lot of like aerial type of stuff, like, you know, those type of stuff, right? And you'll just like randomly see these things as you're trying to search out for these rum stations and stuff like that. I'll show you videos actually, you know, if when I do
That's-
make my party and all that
sounds
stuff.
like
It was super cool. Now, Grant, here's the thing
sounds
though.
awesome.
Here's my problem with rum though, is that
Okay.
I am not a big fan of rum straight.
I am.
That's my biggest problem.
Nobody really
Bacardi
is.
Ocho.
You know,
Bacardi Ocho. You
Hey,
can-
no, not
Yeah,
even
yeah.
that. Like I do whiskey. I'm a
Promise.
whiskey guy. I have a lot of the cast know this and all that stuff. I'm a big whiskey guy. Like
Okay.
like my top shelf is basically all whiskey.
Get him, Tom.
essentially.
Get him, Tom.
Right?
Get him, Tom.
All right. I know what.
Educate
I
this
know
guy.
what. I know what's up your alley
Right.
right here because I think the issue is age. A lot of whiskeys are aged long
Mhm.
time,
Right.
and
He likes them mature.
rums like actually, have you ever tried Angel's Envy rye whiskey?
Yeah, I did.
Yes.
I think I have a
Okay.
bottle right here. Yeah.
Right, but that's aged in rum casks.
Right.
Mm.
That is aged rum casks. So
Yeah.
like leaning into
I thought
that,
it was
like
wine barrels.
different
Maybe different
Different, like
expressions.
rum- different. Okay, so Appleton 12 year is a fantastic bottle of rum. That's like old fashioned worthy. Like I would do it probably like with some bitters and a little bit of sugar, and then a little orange or grapefruit twist up top. That would be with a nice big rock. That would be my way of doing that.
Hey,
That's a
it's-
really good one.
I just looked it up. It's at my local
Or-
Jewel Osco. All right, I'll go.
Yeah.
I'll go for that.
Or
I'll buy that.
or Diplomatico
Diplomatico.
Exclusiva. Diplomatico
Exclusiva. Okay.
Exclusiva Reserva from Venezuela. That's a good one.
Exclusiva. There it is.
Like, I had that's from Venezuela.
Hey,
That's a
my Jewel,
really
same
good-
Jewel Osco. Perfect.
There you go. Like,
You know what?
That's
I'm
a
gonna.
good
I
one,
will buy both of these guys, and then when I'm waiting maybe for like a warmer time, so you guys can use the outdoor like fire pit that I have. Then I'm gonna invite like just like basically all my buddies, and just like
all the
use up-
guests and just have a good conversation.
exactly bar just
yeah.
like
Yes.
yeah. It's
It's
all. It's
decorations.
just buddies. It's just all my buddies essentially, and just like
Buddies.
drink like my bar and all that stuff, right? Because I'm going through midlife
Nothing's
crisis
dust.
right now. But anyway, regardless though, we got
Uh-oh.
1 minute. We
It
got
is
1
dust.
minute. We got 1 minute before like I want to like because we're trying to
Damn.
be like that. But okay, so we talked about the Marvel Rivals thing. You're a big rum fan, obviously. Does anybody else? Yadu, Gen Z, do people like rum, or is it just rum and
Well,
coke?
I'm a
bullshit?
rum fan. No, I'm a rum fan because
Caribbean.
I'm from
He's
the
from the
Caribbean,
Caribbean.
though. Yeah,
Where are you from in the Caribbean? I didn't
Trinidad.
ask.
Trinidad.
Oh, you're from Trinidad. Okay,
Yeah, so
cool.
Angostura, like I have a bottle of 1919 there. I have the Angostura Symphony.
Yeah.
I gave
Nice.
that Angostura 7 year. I do really like the El Dorado stuff. That's Guyana, I'm pretty sure, isn't it?
That's Guyana.
Yeah.
Like I got a bottle of El Dorado 12 and it's amazing.
El Dorado's amazing. I think me and my dad last time we got El Dorado was like 50. No, not. I don't know. But usually me and my dad when we get stuff, it's usually like Scotch that we get at duty free. But last time we were coming through, we got the Angostura 2023 Symphony, which isn't aged, but it's really good. It has like
That's good in and of itself. That's good for a lot of stuff that you can use it. Like
yeah, like let me. I have the bottle right here. It's got a really nice color to it. It's like kind of.
while he's going,
You
I
have excited the
yeah.
no, like,
Gen Z guy.
ooh, oh wow.
Ooh.
All right.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Ooh.
What's the flavor profile? What does that taste like?
It's very woody. I'll
woody.
read what it
Woody.
says here. So it says aroma nuance with wood undertones, dried fruits, vanilla. It does have dried fruits and vanilla. Yeah, taste.
Did I have some of that?
Yeah, you have.
Ooh.
You have. This is
Do
the stuff I need to buy.
not finish that. Do not finish that. Take
No,
that
no,
to
no,
my
I won't.
place.
I-
Yeah.
That sounds like 100% like Planner's Punch. Like, boy,
It's
like,
really good. I mean,
like put a little bitters in, put some bitters in that and a little bit of lime juice, and it'd be awesome.
Yeah, that's like.
What's the ultimate rum punch, Tom? How do you make the ultimate rum punch?
Ooh, punch.
151
another-
right on top.
Punch is another.
Light it on fire.
Punch is another thing entirely because like what punch originally was they would mix spirits with citrus and sugar, and then they would add it to milk, and then it would curdle, and then you'd strain it, and you would get this like clear liquid that would come out of it with all of the citrus and things already added to it. That would be shelf stable or cellar stable. Like Benjamin Franklin was big into rum punch back in the colonial
Not
era.
BF. Oh, geez.
Interesting.
and they had like tons of this
Another
stuff
guy.
just hanging out in their basements because it was shelf stable, because it would last. It was like having like a bottle of soda in your basement, or a bottle of pop or something like that. It was really convenient that you could get rum punches and brandy punches and whiskey punches and things like that would sit for a long time in a basement. I've done a few milk punches over the years, and like 3 Dots and a Dash does a bunch of them. 3 Dots and a Dash, man.
Let's hit that spot up, Tom.
Do you like Sparrow?
Yeah,
Yeah, dude.
I have never been there. I want to go.
Like,
Actually,
Yeah,
by the way,
Sparrow for my birthday.
By the way, I'm
Farm.
gonna be downtown Saturday. Yadu and Gabe.
Party.
Yeah.
Oh wait, you're going to the sexy nerds thing, aren't you?
I didn't want to say, but yes, because I know someone in the chat told me about it. Yeah,
But
They
it
are
is
not
a
in the
sexy
chat
nerds thing.
anymore. They dipped on the politics discussion.
they dipped on the
But-
politics. That's why I was
Yeah,
like,
they
you know,
texted
we
me. It was
gotta
like,
do
I
that.
don't want to.
I actually wanted to ask, like, Tom. God, I was about to say Tony. My uncle's Tony. That's why I don't know why I kept saying that.
I'm Italian, so you can probably
Yeah.
call me Tony.
Uncle, it
Whatever.
doesn't
Right.
exist.
But Tom, real quick though, like, because you yourself do casting itself and the MCU EV thing.
We did starting
Review,
in
sorry.
right for 2022 and into 2023.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all still available on YouTube. That's the MCU ReVu. That's me and Elliot Serrano and Dave Pino and John Clark going through the MCU films, and then we have the Top Men Indiana Jones podcast that we did after that. And we had a lot of fun doing MCU review. That we did all of that, and we had some good people on. I remember one of the ones we did was when we did Captain Marvel. We
Yeah.
had Julie DeCaro on, and she was just terrific. She was a lot of fun. Brought a lot of her
So-
perspective, being a woman in sports broadcasting, which was terrific.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We had this one.
Having Lawrence Holmes was awesome. That's
Yeah,
cool.
Lawrence Holmes was awesome. Connor was great. Dr. Susana Flores.
Oh, Connor, I forgot about him.
Dr. Susana Flores, who
Conor
wrote a whole
McGregor, right?
book.
No, not
Dr.
Conor
Susanna
McGregor.
Flores,
Connor.
Yeah, McGregor? No.
Name dropped. Dr. Susana Flores wrote a whole book on the psychology of Wolverine.
Oh.
Which was awesome. She was great. She was on a couple of times. She was on one where I wasn't there, but she was on when we talked about Captain America: Civil War, and she was terrific. So we had a lot of great conversations about that. So
I have a
yeah.
question, because like I actually wanted to ask you a little bit more about, like, you know, well, how do you build something like that? Do you feel like the Marvel stuff got you more, or the cocktail stuff? Because like everything you said about rum was fascinating.
It 100%.
Fascinating.
It 100%. All right. So for real, the reason I got involved with that is that I'm friends with one of the guys on Dave Pino, one of the guys on the show, started doing a James Bond podcast with Elliot Serrano called Shaken Not Hurt.
Oh.
And I'm friends with Dave because we're both terminal White Sox fans. And
I'm sorry for your losses.
yeah, I'm sorry for the losses. And big into sports uniforms, specifically baseball uniforms. We're
Oh
huge
my gosh,
fans.
this guy in uniforms, insane. Like,
Yeah, so we'll be here all night if you get me going on that tangent. So So we were talking about cocktails when James Bond, and I mentioned, the Vesper supposedly isn't a very good drink. And we were talking about it, and I got asked to be on an episode of Shaken Not Heard, which was fun. And we talked for like 2 hours about drinks and the Bond movies and things like that. And then they said, like, all right, we're also doing the MCU. Why don't you come on and we'll talk? Like, so I said, fuck it, put me on like one of the shitty ones, so you don't have to worry about getting a decent guest. Like, put me on Thor: The Dark World, so you don't have to. You're not bumping someone
One of
who's
the shitty ones.
Right.
Damn, that was a bore.
So I went
that
on-
was a
it
bore. Oh my
So I
god,
went
that
on-
was a bore.
I went on Thor, and I created basically a Viking Negroni with
Nice.
with
Love Negronis.
with a with like a bitter, like, imagine if Malort was good. That's made by Leatherby Distillery.
My lord
here
is
in
good.
Chicago.
What are you talking about? My lord is
like Malort.
good.
We like
What are you
Malort.
I like
Okay,
my
so,
lord.
Okay, so Malort, but better. That's Besk by Leatherby Distillery,
All right.
and then a couple of liqueurs from Koval on the other side of Ravenswood. And I basically made a white Negroni.
That's a
but
great
with-
distillery.
Yes, Koval is awesome. So I did
Yes.
that was the first one I did, and we had a great time doing that. And then
Wow.
I got asked, like, do you want to do one for Captain America Winter Soldier, which was next? So I did one for that, and I just kind of kept doing it. So I got on because I was going into a really deep dive on vermouth and the martini and things like that, and I had a lot of opinions on Vesper and James Bond dry martinis and things like that. And it just kind of happened by accident. And next thing I know, I've got 20 plus original cocktails from the MCU and all 5 Indiana Jones movies. I think one of the best ones I did was the one I did for Raiders of the Lost Ark, which was called Bad Dates, which was like a mint. Yeah, but which was a mint julep, because what was fascinating was in Raiders of the Lost Ark, if you look at the bottle of whiskey that Indy is drinking after Marion is supposedly killed, he's drinking a pre-prohibition version of Jack Daniels that was like not available. He's drinking like a 15-year-old bottle of whiskey that would have not have been available in the United States at all, but that he somehow has. It's like Bell of Lincoln. It's a pre-prohibition Tennessee whiskey coming out of the Jack Daniels distillery. And it's wild for that particular label. And I thought, like, why don't we just do like a julep? Like, mint's very popular in the Middle East, and dates is a theme. Let's use date syrup instead of sugar syrup. And that wound up being a really tasty drink. So, like,
Nice.
Bro, man,
that was like really cool.
I'm telling you, man. Like when I do this party, you gotta be the bartender, man. This is gonna be fucking lit. Yeah, dude.
Me and him. 'cause,
Gen Z.
oh,
Did you hear any of that shit? Do you know what the prohibition is, Gen Z?
Yeah, bro, we have to learn it in school. I mean,
Okay, well there you go.
That was
he didn't have to,
disrespectful.
he didn't have to
Come on,
experience
that was
it.
disrespectful.
I want to drop some like book recommendations. Like definitely pick up that book I mentioned earlier, and A Bottle of Rum: The History of the New World in cocktails. It's called And a Bottle of Rum. You know, like Yo Ho Ho and a Bottle of Rum.
okay.
That's a great one. Smuggler's Cove by Martin and Rebecca Kate. That's like if you're at all into tiki cocktails or things like the 3 Dots and a Dash, the zombie, the jet pilot, the Mai Tai, all kinds of that stuff. It covers it in extensive detail.
Which, by the way, we got to hit up 3 Dots and Dash. What the hell's going on with us?
Oh yeah, 3 Dots and a
Yeah.
Dash is awesome.
Yeah.
I love.
great,
I've been there
great
so
Crab
many
Rangoon.
times. Yeah.
I have not been yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I busted
Yeah.
out. So it's like the Wayne Curtis with
Right.
the rum bottle of rum book.
Right.
Mm.
Wayne
And then
Curtis. I
that's
just
right.
sent it out to our Discord.
Yes, that's
Yep.
that's the book. And then Imbibe by David Wondrich. Terrific book about all of the pre-prohibition era. It's basically an annotated version of one of the first cocktail manuals that was ever put out. Goes into a lot of great detail about the origin of drinks like, hey, do you know why the whiskey sour tastes the way it tastes? Do you know why the Manhattan tastes the way it tastes? Do you know where the martini came from?
What was the
David
book name?
Wonder's-
Sorry. What was it? David Wonder. What was it? Vibe.
Imbibe, as in to imbibe.
To
strong
imbibe in
drink.
something. Yeah.
Right. That's a
Okay.
terrific book to look up. And we were talking about the history of Haiti earlier. Definitely look up The Black
Haiti.
Count, which is a story of one of Napoleon's generals of cavalry who was a son of a slave in what is now Haiti and who basically serves as the inspiration for the Count of Monte Cristo, which was written by his son, Alexandre Dumas. So it's a book about Alexandre Dumas' father, Thomas Alexandre Dumas, the great Revolutionary War general. That's a cool book. Because and he's imprisoned on an island in the Mediterranean, like in the Count of Monte Cristo, and it's clear that his son based his epic, world famous novel off of his father, who is this son of a French noble and a slave in what is now Haiti. That's a really cool book.
Okay. Well, anyway, so sorry, I gotta cut this off because we are actually past our time for our streaming. Actually, I always kept saying we got it like stick at 11 o'clock.
Soda Stream hates when
Yeah.
we go over 11 p.m. They
Soda
hate it.
Stream and Raytheon. I want to get those big Raytheon money.
Well, we didn't get the chance to talk about Johnny Walker Black from Blade Runner 2049.
We'll talk about it some other time, basically. All right.
I want
Well,
to say
Tom.
thanks to
Yeah, go ahead. Actually, JP, go
for
ahead.
being a great guest. That's the education
Anytime.
you gave us
Yeah.
about rums is
Phenomenal.
phenomenal.
A great second guess. Is no good. It's great
Yes.
being number 2. Number 2 is bigger than number 1. Whatever.
Anytime.
Whoa.
Next time you wanna have me on, I'll create
yeah.
a custom.
Oh,
cocktail
dude, for
the
sure,
stream.
man. Like, actually, we definitely need more, and it seems like we definitely need like a wider range of people because we are a variety show. We
Yeah.
talk about everything, and I mean, what part of the reason that I've said before in another podcast is that part of the reason that we are talking and trying to make a podcast is we're trying to get our voices heard. All of us are very left leaning or whatnot, and I feel like the more people actually, get their voices heard, we might not make it or whatever, but someone will,
Reach
So
out to
Someone will
Flint
do it.
Dibble.
Yeah.
Reach out to Flint Dibble. He's awesome.
Do a
He's
monopoly on podcast for some
And
reason.
then Gen Z
Right.
will just be like, dude. Yeah.
Dude, everything's fun. Which, by the way, I'm so embarrassed. The fucking skit is that I always ask him first, "How's Gen Z?" and then he's
Yes,
it's
and
always
you
bad.
blew it.
It's
You
I
all
blew
blew it. I blew it. Sorry. Anyway, guys.
All right. We're
Thank
past
you
time.
guys. Thank you guys for watching. We pretty successful and all that stuff. Thank you guys so much for Topical Drinks, everything like that. And I will let Yadu go ahead and give the final word.
It's all bad.
Great. Thank you guys. Peace.